And we welcome you inside the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence. It's PC Friar basketball, season 98 underway, and the Friars game 2 of the year against the Stonehill Skyhawks. I'm John Rook, along with Joe Hassett. Friars 1-0 after the 59-55 opening win over Central Connecticut on Monday. Stonehill has already played 2 games this year. They're 1-1. They lost at Notre Dame on Wednesday, 89-60. Their opener was against Framingham State on Monday, and they won that one 81-62. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Starting lineups are brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island. First of all, for the Skyhawks, under head coach Chris Krause, who's in his 11th year as head coach at Stonehill, and he is a graduate of Stonehill of 2006. Todd Brogna, 6'7" sophomore out of Southborough, Massachusetts, leads them in scoring at 18 points and 6 rebounds per game. Josh Morgan, 6'3" graduate guard out of Brampton, Ontario, a transfer from Incarnate Word out of the Southland Conference, 16.5 points per game. Ethan Muser, 6'8" junior out of Shavertown, Pennsylvania, at 5.5 points per game. Then you have Amir Nesbitt, a 6'1" graduate guard out of Newport News, Virginia, and a transfer from Hampton at 5.5 points per game. And Chaz Stinson, a 6'4" junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, 4.5 points per game on the year. So Stonehill, 1-1 already on the year against the 1-0 Providence College Friars. This is the 6th meeting all-time between Stonehill and Providence. The Friars have won each of the previous 5 games between the two teams, including the last time the two teams played, which was just a couple of years ago. It was a 100-76 win for the Friars here in the AMP back on November the 15th of 2022, so right at almost 2 years ago. Second straight game for the Friars to play a team out of the Northeast Conference, all-time against teams in the NEC. Providence is 31-6. Their last loss, and we talked about this on Monday, was to Central Connecticut back in 1999. So it's been 25 years since Providence has had a struggle on the floor with a team out of the Northeast Conference. So it'll be the Friars and the Stonehill Skyhawks momentarily here at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. And let's bring you the Friars starting lineup. And now, let's see your Providence Friars starting five. Number 55, So the Friar 5, Joe, is exactly the same as we saw on Monday night. Pierre, Cardette, Joseph, Floyd, and Erunse.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of different combinations as the course of the year goes on, John, with matchups. But, you want to get Oswin in there as many minutes as you can right now, the young freshman. He looks a little nervous when he comes in the ball game. And the more playing time he gets early in the season will bode well when conference play starts, because he's a very talented kid. And you have two veteran guards out there, obviously. I think Pierre and Joseph will be the starting backcourt all year, barring any injuries. He's going to start 2 point guards, and he'll come in with a shooting guard to replace one of those guys during the course of the game. And then at the forward position, that's a big toss-up. I don't think, it'll be different guys probably every night, depending upon what the matchups will be.
Right. All right, so you've got the Friars tonight dressed in the home whites, black numerals, black trim, silver and black trim as well on the predominantly white uniforms with Providence emblazoned across the front. Stonehill's Skyhawks dressed in road purple uniforms, white numerals, white lettering, white trim on the purple road uniforms for Stonehill out of the NEC. And the officiating crew tonight from the Big East Conference, Mike Roberts, Pete Larson, Wally Rutecki.
Ooh, that's a name from the past. Wally Rutecki. That's a good name, though. If he was a player, that'd be a cool name. Wally Rutecki. But you're an official? Nah, it's not any good.
Sounds like somebody that Wally Rutecki. Somebody like on the PGA Tour or something.
Yeah, right? Somebody shooting threes. Wally Rutecki from downtown.
Exactly.
But I like the Friar uniforms. I like these black and whites.
There's the opening tap. Stonehill got the jump on the Big O inside, and it'll be the Skyhawks to start it off here. First and foremost, they'll go basket to our left on the radio, and we are underway here in the AMP. Friars open up in a man-to-man defense. Up at the top of the basketball is Nesbitt. Nesbitt moves to the left, fires off a deep three, and nails the first shot of the game.
Little step-back three right there.
Transfer from Hampton University, who will be in here, by the way, on Tuesday for the next Friar game. So 3-0 quickly for Stonehill off the gap as Cardette drives right, throws it up high off the rim, and it goes in.
That's the Cardette I want to see. Be aggressive and look for your scoring. He can score, this kid, but he's been a little apprehensive in last ball game.
Friars have a little pressure in the backcourt, but Stonehill breaks it into the forecourt to our left. That three-pointer by Nesbitt was the first three allowed by the Friar defense this season. Monday night, Central Connecticut was 0 for 8 from three. On the high post with it is Muser. Muser hands off now for Nesbitt. Nesbitt cuts back to the left on Corey Floyd, gets to the lane, dumps it off to the left side, and a drive there for Stinson. He puts it up high off the glass, won't get it. Erunse with the rebound, and here comes Corey Floyd. Left to right go the Friars here in half one. Bounce pass into the right side, near side of the forecourt. Comes off the screen. Alley-oop underneath to Oswin, and the Big O slams it home.
They didn't get any of that in the last ball game, but Cardette almost stole the inbounds pass, but they didn't get any of that last ball game. But both Joseph and Pierre looked to turn the corner on the pick and roll with Oswin and throw it up at the rim, let him go get it.
The Friars get the first lead at 4-3, almost 90 seconds deep into the ballgame. And again, man pressure in the backcourt for the Friars, and handling it is Amir Nesbitt. 6'1" graduate transfer from Hampton out of Newport News, Virginia. Comes off a high screen, rolls to the right elbow, fires up the jumper, and scores.
Nice shot there. He steps back when he shoots it, like he drives the defender off, and then he jumps backwards and then shoots the jumper. Tough time to make a shot, but he's made 2 in a row.
He started 9 games for the Hampton Pirates a year ago before an injury, and then he transferred in the offseason. Joseph comes off a screen, penetrates into the lane, jump stop, out to Pierre, fakes right, goes left, gets in the lane, kicks it out. Cardette wide open for 3, got it.
Good job there by Pierre on the penetration, finding Cardette. Cardette 2 for 2 now. Looks real comfortable in this ball game.
And the Friars have hit their first 3 shots from the floor, so a better offensive start tonight. And it's 7-5 Providence. Coming off the screen is Nesbitt. Kicks it back to the right side. Muser for 3, and he hits.
Well, it seems like everybody comes in here likes to make those outside shots. Stonehill 3 for 3 from the floor.
No, Stonehill 38% from 3 in their first 2 games this year. The win against Framingham, the loss at Notre Dame. And they're starting off hot here. Driving to the right is Pierre. Pierre drives to the right, gets cut off at the baseline. Fadeaway jumper up off the rim, no good. Rebound. Erunse has it in the paint, had it knocked away from behind. This is where he's got to improve. Got to be stronger with the basketball as it gets stolen by the Skyhawks.
Yeah, he's got a lot of rebounds last ball game, were deflected away, and he ended up with a turnover.
Nesbitt controls out front, comes left off the screen. Wide open 3, missed one. Joseph gets the rebound for the Friars. Now Joseph pushes right for Floyd. Corey has it, drives into the lane, goes across the lane, puts up the jumper, and he did get the foul call.
Yeah, I mean, he pushed him right along the lane there as Corey picks up the foul.
Josh Morgan will pick up the foul. His first, team's first.
That's another good thing I'd like to see, too. Corey Floyd, when he gets the ball on the wing here on the break, take it to the basket. Last year, he would just back it out. He's looking to find some openings and get to the rim.
Herman Kofi, a 6'4 freshman out of Quebec City, Quebec, checks in. You got Louis Simona, a 6'8 soft from Cincinnati, checking in for Stonehill. And we'll catch the other one. It's Christopher Mellis, a senior out of Chappaqua. Top of the key with it. Floyd underneath, backdoor. There's Carnett for the layup.
Carnett scoring machine in this ball game so far. He's 3 for 3.
He's got 7 of the 9 Friar points on the board. 9-8 Friars, 16:47 to go in the opening half.
I got to get a stop here.
Chaz Stinson at the point now, hands off for Kofi. Top of the key with it is Mellis. Mellis around the screen to the left side, all around the arc, now begins to penetrate, gets into the lane, cut off by Osmond out for a three-pointer right wing, and good for Louis Simona.
Too many open looks. I mean, Stonehill's had wide open shots, and they're knocking them down.
They've hit 3 of 3 from three-point range, and there's a turnover on the right side off of Bensley Joseph and out of bounds, and it'll be Stonehill's ball.
The Friars have to get out on the shooters. You got to take away those three-point shots. They did a good job last ball game. It was 0 for 8. The opposition in this ball game here, every shot three-pointer they've taken, they've made.
Yeah, they're actually 3 for 4 to be exact, but pretty close, right? And now the Skyhawks will have the basketball after the Friar turnover. Remember, the Friars had 10, 11 turnovers in the first half against Central Connecticut on Monday, and 10 of those turnovers came in the first 10 minutes of the ball game. Ended up finishing the game with 16 turnovers, and something that Kim talked about in the pregame tonight, that they really needed to make sure they took care of the ball. So it inbounds in the backcourt now for Mellis. Christopher Mellis brings it to the forecourt to our left for Stonehill. They have an early 11-9 lead. Bounce pass, backdoor, good cut, got blocked from behind and reached in, and a foul called on the Friars. So that time those cuts to the basket. Foul is called on Jaden Pierre. And again, Coach English told us about that in the pregame, that Stonehill's a team that's going to try to slice you and dice you as best they can with that back cuts.
They didn't even guard Mellis. Mellis is at the top of the key with the ball, and Oswin's in the paint, the 3-second area. He's got to be probing. He's playing more of a one-man zone. They're daring Mellis to shoot the ball.
First free throw by Chaz Stinson is no good. He's now 3 of 6 from the free throw line on the season. 6'4" junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. One of Stonehill's key returners from last year. He played in 23 games last season for the Skyhawks. Started 10 of those.
Very rarely you see somebody come back to the same team anymore.
And Stinson's second shot is on the way, and he got that one to go. It's his first point of the night. And a 12-9 Stonehill lead. We're almost 4 minutes deep into the ballgame. Joseph, hands off. Floyd. Isandiko is coming to the game. Crease Isandiko is checked in. He gets the ball on the left post. He's got a huge advantage, and he travels. Another turnover.
He's having a tough time. He had 5 turnovers in the last ball game. He's got a guy on him right now who's like 6'5", so they want to get him the ball in the post, but they gave it to him too far out on the wing. He's got to go in established position on that square and then throw the ball inside. All he has to do is turn around and lay it up.
So Stonehill gets it on the second Friar turnover here in the early going. Into the forecourt with it is Todd Brogna down to the left side for Mellis. Fake and a drive left. Simona gets up an 18-footer off the back iron. No good. Cardette with a rebound. Now Cardette on the dribble and the drive. Passes off to Bensley Joseph, and he got fouled on the floor from behind by Stinson with a reach-in.
Boy, if Friars got away with one there, I thought Stinson, he timed that pretty well, but reached in and got enough of the arm that time to pick up the foul.
We got a timeout on the floor. 15:44 to go in the opening half, and a slow start for the Friars again. Stonehill off to the hot start. They lead 12-9 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
The offense is running pretty smoothly. The defense is horrendous. I mean, every shot they've taken is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got all day to shoot it. Last game, they played good defense, so.
Yeah.
They're trying to put, I think it's a little more concentration on the offense this past week to try to get the offense grooving, because the defense was good, but eventually you put them both together, and then you got a solid squad.
John and Joe back inside the amp. Good start for Stonehill. And our first timeout here brought to you by Dave's Marketplace with our first fresh take of the game. What's your take?
Well, offensively, the Friars, when they get a good look, John, they make the shot. It seems they're 4 for 5 from the floor, 1 for 1 from three-point range. But that bugaboo of 3 turnovers, they have 3 turnovers so far in the ball game. On the other hand, Stonehill, 4 for 7 from the floor, 3 or 4 from three-point range. I just mentioned they're all wide open looks. The Friars defensively were very good in the last ball game. I thought if they didn't play the defense they played, they would not have won that last game because their offense was really not in sync. Their offense looks pretty smooth other than the turnovers in this one, but they can't stop Stonehill from making shots. Stonehill's doing a good job of taking care of the ball as well. No turnovers. So the Friars have to turn up the defensive end of the court. I'm sure they had a lot of discussions last week about the offense and how the offense struggled, just scoring 59 points in that last ball game. So they're trying to come out here and put the ball in the hole in this one a little bit better, but they forgot about the other end of the court.
Can't forget about the other end of the court. That's exactly right. Friars will have the basketball. Basket to our right here again in the first half. And Joseph will inbound with 28 on the shot clock from the far side. He finds Cardette between the circles, who's got 7 of the 9 points on the board. Out front now for Jabri Abdur-Rahim, who's checked in for the first time. Joseph, top of the key, drives off a screen set by Sandico. Out now for Floyd. Kicks it back left for Jabri, comes up to the right, finds Cardette, 11 to shoot. Cardette takes his man off the dribble, finds Jabri, fakes the 3. He gets dribble penetration, drives down the lane, puts it up too strong, won't go. It's out of bounds. It's last touched by Stonehill with 4 on the shot clock.
Good D by Stonehill that time. Friars are on the perimeter trying to look for a 3, but they took the 3 away and forcing the Friars to get to the basket. Now there's 4 seconds you mentioned on the shot clock, John. Need to get something up here quick.
So they'll inbound baseline left of the basket with Joseph. Bensley looks. He finds his Sandico with 3, with 2, with 1. He turns around, jumper up, misses everything.
You see, you got to know who to get the ball to in that situation. Bonk is coming in the ball game right now.
So Anton Bonk will make his first appearance as a Providence Friar officially.
And Fraven here.
15-15 to go in the opening half. So he's coming to the ball game.
Friars fans like to see him. He's always laughing out there, having a good time, Bonk. Let's see if he can play.
Friars have 4 turnovers in the last 3 minutes of this game. Handoff on the left wing for Kofi. Kofi top of the key. And now for Brogna. Brogna left. Hands off for Nesbitt. Nesbitt come back to left wing. Again for Kofi. Back to Nesbitt. And he goes back door. It throws out of bounds over his head.
That's the best defensive set the Friars have had in the ball game so far with 14:53 to go. Good job of denying the ball. Playing good defense.
Now the whistle is being blown. For some reason, they didn't get the ball in bounds improper. Okay. So it's going to be Bonk who will inbound it.
Look at Bonk. He's already smiled to the official. I mean, he's enjoying himself out there. He's a fan favorite already. Big dude, though, 7'2".
7'2", 290 pounds out there on the floor. Top of the key with it. He drives around the arc to the right side, hands off to Joseph. Joseph gives it back to Anton. It goes up, and he got fouled as he went up for the dunk. He got fouled from behind by Todd Brogna.
I tell you, he's got skills. I mean, he hasn't played basketball a long time. Dennis Felton found him out in the middle of nowhere, and he's here now.
I think that's pretty safe to say. Vanuatu?
Yeah, never even heard of it until Bonk showed up.
Somewhere between Fiji and New Zealand.
Yeah, middle of nowhere. And how you find a 7'2" guy who has some skills? I mean, he's a good athlete, has a good shooting stroke as well. He knocked down the free throw.
And that's his first point as a Friar.
I had him down for some lobsters in the summertime. He just smiles the whole time. I mean, the guy he has the best personality in the world.
Ethan Muser checks back in the middle, 6'8" junior for the Skyhawks. As Bonk hits both free throws, it gets on the board, and the Friars are back within 1. Man pressure in the backcourt. And bringing it up is Luis Simona. He'll hand off to Muser. Muser will bring it up. Bonk will pick him up at the top of the key. Stops to the right side on the elbow and hands off. Curling back to the left is Nesbitt. Nesbitt drives left, throws up the layup off the rim. No good. Rebound for Rahim. Up the floor, Joseph. Left wing for Cardette. Cardette stops, finds Bensley, fakes the 3, penetrates down the lane, scoops it up and under a little bit too strong, and the rebound controlled by Simona.
Good D there by Stonehill. Joseph got up in the air that time. He wanted to pass it to Bonk, but he had to shoot it.
Muser has it on the high post again. Flips it over to the right wing for Amir Nesbitt. Gives it back to Nesbitt, and he jams it home. Excuse me, that's Muser who jammed it home.
Yeah, good bounce pass there to Muser on the pick and roll.
He's got 5, and Stonehill's back up by 3. Raheem for 3. Off the back iron, no good. A whistle and a foul on the floor. We got 2 players tangled, and down on the floor was Ethan Muser for the Skyhawks. And the foul is called on number 10, Herman Kofi.
Well, he's trying to box out right there as Bonk went to the offensive glass. He just went down and tried to step in front of him. And you mentioned, John, he's 290 pounds. You step in front of him, you could probably only end up on the floor.
Rich Barron comes in for his first appearance, replacing Cardette. And Bensley Joseph is out, and the Friars bring Jaden Pierre back in. Friars have 20 to shoot. Pierre will inbound baseline to the right of the basket, lobs it out to Bonk at the right elbow, and then had it tipped away from behind and stolen. Well, the Friar bigs having all kinds of trouble holding on to the basketball. Between the circles with it, Muser looks left, now cuts back to the right, coming off his screen, give and go down the lane for Simona. Lost the ball, driving on the baseline, getting cut off his Kofi. Back out front on the perimeter for Muser. Muser drives left, and backdoor cut is intercepted by Floyd. Pushes up the floor for Barron, who goes up off the rim, goes in.
He got fouled on that play. Good play by Barron. He felt the defensive player showing up. He jumped into him, created the contact, and squeezed off the layup. Gets the score and a 3-point play opportunity.
Muser got him. He'll get the foul, and Barron will get a chance. That's his first basket of the season after going scoreless in 12 minutes against the Blue Devils on Monday.
Watching Wally Witecki talk to Bonk and Muser out there, they both can go. Bonk has been banging with him. Muser's trying to keep him out of the lane, so he's meeting him with a forearm in the chest, so Bonk whacks him in the chest. It's like a WWF match out there, and Wally Witecki, a good official would do there, and I very rarely say that.
Missed the free throw, and the rebound saved on the far side by Morgan. The Friars down 1. Stonehill with the basketball. We've got 13-13 to go in the opening half here at the Amp. Driving to the right side with it is Stinson off a high screen. Bonk picks him up. He spins on him to the right, gets into the lane, flips it up, got fouled from behind. Good move there by Stinson as he held the quickness. And a foul is called on Anton Bonk.
Well, Bonk had to switch on him because they didn't want to give Hughes an open look from 3, and Stinson knew he had a big guy on him, so he brought him out to the 3-point line, then blew by him, and Bonk just got there late, picked up the foul.
First foul on Anton, second on the Friars, but it will put Stinson back at the foul line for his second time already tonight. Hit 1 of 2 earlier.
You know, looking at Bonk, I mean, you think about the first time he's played in a game at this level. I mean, he's got to be hyperventilating out there, and he's running up and down the floor. He's doing a good job. He's taking deep breaths out there. You can see him over there just huffing and puffing. You know, he's in great shape, but you get so fired up for the game that sometimes you just start hyperventilating in the first couple of minutes.
Stinson hits the first one. Second one is on the way. Short, and the rebound taken by Barron under the basket. Friars down 2. Justin Fernandez is checked in for the first time. Barron now gives it off to Pierre. Friars basket to our right here in the opening half. Barron takes the handoff up high for Bonk, goes left for Fernandez, feeds Anton outside the post. I want to try to back his way in. We'll try to do that on Brogna. Kicks the ball out to Raheem for 3.
Good job by Bonk. He drew the double team, throws a nice pass to Raheem, who can really shoot it. When you square him up and he's open, he's going to make shots.
Went 1 for 4 from Trey on Monday in the debut, and the Friars retake the lead on his first basket here tonight. Lob to the high post, Brogna, backdoor bounce pass, and a drive up over his head, no good, and a foul is called. Nesbitt just flipped it up over his head, and he drew the foul from Pierre, who picks up his second personal.
And Kim English and Dennis Felton are both up talking to Bonk. Say, listen, when you're out on the top there and a guard gets beat to the basket, you have to get back in the paint to be a shot blocker. And he stayed on his man at the top of the key. You can't do that. You got to get back in and help when you get beat on the back door like Pierre was beaten on that one. Bonk's 7'2". If he gets back there, he's going. If he doesn't block the shot, he'll definitely bother it.
Free throw here by Amir Nesbitt is good. He's got 6 of the 16 Stonehill points on the board.
And that'll come with when he gets a feel for the game. I mean, Bonk is really learning the game. He's only, his second year playing basketball, so he's got to get a feel for it. It's going to take some time, but once he gets it, he'll be fine.
Second one in and out. Jabri Abdur-Rahim with the rebound. We're tied at 16, 12-20 to go in the first half. Off a high screen, Pierre rolls to the left. Bonk on the high post. Kicks it right for Fernandez. Fernandez shakes it off. He drives down the lane. Left corner, Jabri for 3.
Boom. You keep that guy open. I said that, John. If he's open and squares his shoulder, when he has to take a contested shot, you'll miss it. But if he's wide open, it's money.
Back-to-back trays. Friars grab a 3-point lead. We dip under the 12-minute mark of the opening half. On the left side, Stinson drives down the lane to the right. Bonk is right there with him, puts the shot up and throws it up over Bonk. Great play.
Yeah, I mean, Bonk's just, the foot speed is just not there when you get a quick guy inside like that, but he'll learn it.
Stinson has 4. Stonehill within 1. Barron left open for 3. That one's no good. Long rebound, chased down to the right corner by Nesbitt. So the Skyhawks with the ball, a chance to retake the lead on this possession. Comes off a high screen, top of the key for 3. He's all alone, no good. And Abdur Rahim with a rebound. Now Jabri will bring the dribble left-handed into the forecourt to our right to the top of the key. Drives past his man, goes hard down to the post. Kicks it back out to Pierre. Catch and shoot 3. In and out. Won't go. Rebound. Bonk had it and a foul on the floor.
Calling the foul on Bonk. They're trying to box him out. Bonk just throws him on the floor. Kim Inglis is not happy with the call.
Nope, I don't blame him. So Bonk gets called for his second foul, and that's 4 on the Friars. We got a timeout. 11-13 to go in the opening half. And the Friars with a 1-point lead at 19-18 over Stonehill. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Watching everybody talking to Bonk, man. The official, Kim was yelling at the official. I was like, listen, you know, he's throwing guys on the floor. I mean, he's 390 pounds. Well, guys are falling on the floor because he's 390 pounds. It just looks like a foul. They're boxing him out with a guy who's 6'6". I mean, he's trying to get out of the, you know, trying to get around him so you look like you're mauling him when you're that big, right?
Yep.
And you got Dennis Felton. That's Dennis Felton's project, man. He's been with him watching film, breaking things down. But yeah, you know, he's only played for 2 years. He's still learning.
Providence College basketball is brought to you in part by Finetco, a family of lumber yards. John and Joe at the amp, 11-13 to go in the half. 19-18, Friars up 1.
Yeah, Friars doing a good job offensively, John. And just the defense isn't there right now. When you feel like when you look at these stats, Friars are 7 for 14 at 50%, 3 of 6 from 3, 2 for 3 from the line. They have 10 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, 6 assists on their 7 made baskets. But 5 turnovers have hurt them so far in the first half. But then you look at Stonehill, they're 6 for 11, 3 for 5 from 3, 3 of 6 from the line, just 4 rebounds. They have no offensive rebounds for Stonehill, but they're efficient on the offensive end. They just have 2 turnovers in the ball game, and they're only down by 1. But you know the Friars have to pick up the defense and get better out there on the defensive end.
6 for 11, 55%. When you consider that you held Central Connecticut on Monday night to basically nothing.
Well, they both shot in the 30s. They were 38, 39%.
31% really for Central Connecticut on Monday. And then you got your next team shooting at a 60% clip from 3. Yeah, that's a little concerning.
Yeah, you got to get, and it had open looks too. Too many open looks.
So it will be.
But it's all a growing process because you have, look at all the different combinations you have out here in the last 2 games.
Right.
I mean,
Tons of combinations. He's running different guys in and out.
Yeah.
He's trying to find chemistry on the floor.
You're playing 3 different centers. Last year we had 1 center. Played all the time. So, you know, you're trying to mix and match, and sometimes your rhythm takes a while to get going.
Arinsey's back into the game. Stonehill with the ball. We're tied. Actually, no, excuse me. 19-18 Friars lead by 1. With the ball out front with it is Amir Nesbitt. The Hampton transfer starts right on Bensley Joseph, who's back into the game. Has a left-hand dribble toward the Friar bench. A handoff up high for Brogna. Top of the key.
They don't even guard him.
And that's Mellis. Mellis, left side three-pointer on the way by Morgan is no good. Ball is out of bounds and off of Jabri Abdur-Rahim. Couldn't handle it or couldn't hold it.
No, he's got to box out. I mean, he got beat from behind on that one. You got to box out in that situation. You can't allow your offensive play to get by you.
Jabri will come out. Wesley Cardette will check back in. Fresh 20 on the shot clock for the Skyhawks. Baseline right of the basket. Ball gets tipped and stolen by Arunse. Big O comes up with it.
Yeah, good deflection of that pass. I mean, he's a big wingspan out there.
So here's Cardette to the top of the key. Sets, fires the three. Off the iron, no good. Rebound Fernandez. Had it, a foul on the floor. He got tangled up with one of the purple shirts. And they're going to get 23, which is Christopher Mellis.
Yeah, he's playing center, John. He's like 6'5".
6'5".
They're not even guarding him. I mean, they're backing off. So out there when you're playing the center position, you just got to box out, and he grabbed that time and picked up the foul.
First foul on Mellis. That's 6 on the Skyhawks. Inbounds to Joseph. Penetrates to the foul line. Backs it out to the top of the key. Goes left for Barron. Barron penetrates down to the block. Kicks it all the way through right corner. Cardette. He reaches into the lane. Reverses. Stops on the right wing. Lobs it back out front for Joseph with 5 to shoot. Bensley looks for a screen. Cuts to the left. Kicks the ball back out to Cardette. Gets off a deep three. Got it at the buzzer.
What a tough shot right there. Mellis was right in his face and was able to let that one go high in the air and knocks down another three.
That's 10 first half points for Wesley Cardette. And the Flyers lead by 22-18. And controlling is Nesbitt into the forecourt right against Joseph into the right corner. Back out front, left wide open. Mellis no good on the 15-footer. Flyers grab the rebound and then a held ball between Fernandez and Nesbitt. And the possession arrow belongs to Providence.
Mellis, I mean, he's frustrated right now. They're not even guarding him. He had to take the shot, and he barely hit the rim. That's why they're not guarding him.
Fernandez comes out. Corey Floyd will recheck it in. So the Friars have Joseph, Floyd, Cardette, Arunse, and Barron. By the way, Joe, 22-18 right now is tied for the largest lead of the season.
Yeah, they had
game 2.
Largest lead when they won the game.
That's right. On Monday night. Joseph between the circles, high post, Cardette fakes, drives, goes up, blocked from behind, swatted away, and Stonehill with a rebound.
Well, it was a zone. He had the wide open look right away when he caught the ball.
Morgan finds Brogdon right corner, deep three by Amir Nesbitt, and then Oswin high for the rebound, back up the floor for Joseph, stops at the foul line, out to Fernandez for three,
That's
short.
Floyd, Corey Floyd.
And the rebound, it was Floyd, but a foul called on 23, Mellis down under the basket. And that's going to put the Friars in a 1-1 with 9:21 to go.
Sorry, John. Mellis, they're taking him out of the game. He's way overmatched now with his size. He's trying to battle inside with Oswin. He got no chance, so he has to foul. And that picked up the foul. He just took him out of the ball game. Tried to go with a small lineup, Stonehill, but when you have Oswin in there, the size of the Friars, it's really tough to have a small lineup.
So Oswin Arunse, 6'10 freshman out of Nigeria, had 4 points and 5 rebounds in his debut on Monday. Front end of the 1-1 is no good, off to the left. And Stonehill with a rebound. The Friar lead remains 4. And Chaz Stinson has it into the forecourt with the Skyhawks. Takes it to the right side. Handoff there for Morgan. Morgan, who's been shut down thus far for the most part by Bensley Joseph. High post, finds Miser. Back to Morgan. Morgan tries to shake Joseph off, 10 to shoot. Gets into the lane, stops, leans in, turns around, doesn't get a clean look. Back out front now for Muser. Muser has it left, backdoor cut, and there it is, a dunk with 2 on the shot clock.
Just can't get beat backdoor like that. Good job by Stonehill, though. They've done a number of backdoor plays and gotten scores off it.
Stinson gets his 6th point. Here's Barron driving right, lays it up too strong. Doesn't get it. Rebound tapped out, loose on the floor. Taken by Cardette on the left wing. Saves it back out front for Floyd. Now for Bensley. Bensley shakes, drives, travels.
Well, Mellis coming in the ball game now for his first action.
Ryan Mila, the 6'6 freshman out of Natick, Massachusetts, will get his first Providence College Friar action here with 8:32 to go on the opening half.
By the way, he's a good player. He's solid. He has a couple of injuries himself, but he really knows how to play, this kid.
Friars just 1 for their last 7 on the floor on offense. They want him to shoot if he has the ball. Stonehill looking for a tie or a lead again on this possession. With it is Brogdon on the left wing to the top of the key. Deep for Muser. Doesn't take the shot. A handoff there for Stinson. Stinson backs it out. Muser will take off the deep three. Short, and a rebound for Cardette.
Good challenge there by Oswin.
Cardette passes to Mila. He leaves it for Floyd. He sets, fires the three. Can't get it in rhythm. Rebound is tapped out, and a foul is called on Oswin.
You know, it's amazing how the officials call fouls on the bigger players who have the position going for the ball. They just feel like the big guys knocking over the small guys. The small guys are holding them, trying to keep them off the boards.
First foul on Oswin, 5th on the Friars. And we have an officials timeout with an even 8 minutes to go in the opening half. 22-20. Friars in a struggle again with Stonehill from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Thank you. Where till Bryce Hopkins comes back? What do you do with all these guys?
Yeah, good question.
I mean, Bryce going to play 30 minutes at least. He's healthy.
Providence College basketball brought to you in part by the Hot Potato Food Truck. The Hot Potato Food Truck is a proud partner of BC Athletics. For your next event, call the Hot Potato Food Truck, 401-919-3009. We've had some scares in the Big East early with some of these, shall we say, lesser lighted opponents. Not that they're, early in the year, it's almost anybody's game when you're trying to find yourself out on the floor. Today, for instance, Seton Hall lost at home. They lost on campus at Walsh Gym to Fordham, 57-56. First time they've lost on their home floor in like 30 years. Yeah, and then Georgetown had a struggle with Fairfield at home.
Yeah, and St. John's was down to Quinnipiac at halftime. St. John's team that beat Fordham by 40 points.
Yeah.
And Fordham goes and beats Seton Hall today at the buzzer. I watched that game. Seton Hall, they're going to have some struggles this year, no question about it. They don't have the personnel right now. I don't know if they'll get better as the year goes on. Villanova struggled. They lost the game early on this year. They gave up 90 points in the ball game.
Right.
So
lost to Columbia.
Yeah, to an Ivy League school by just giving up 90 points at home. That's the. So early in the year you get some teams that struggle, then you have other teams like Rick Bonds' Tennessee team went on the road to Louisville and just spanked them today, beat them to death. And he's had those guys for a couple of years now, and it's different how some teams get better earlier. This Friar team and a lot of the Big East teams right now, they'll find their way.
Well, the Friars now have Jabri Abdur-Rahim in at the 5 at 6'8" right now, so they've got their bigs out of the game. Stonehill with the ball, trying to post up left as Brogna flips it up under his hand, underhanded in a reverse, doesn't get it. And then a foul is called as the Friars went in and got the rebound from Ryan Mila.
Yeah, Mila got the rebound there. He's one of those kids that just has a great knack to be in the right place at the right time. I like his game. I watch him at practice. Plays at the same pace. He's smooth out there. He's a good shooter.
He's going to get a chance to go to the line and score his first Providence points. As Brogna picks up his second, and that's team 8.
He reminds you of like a coach's son who's been talking basketball his whole life. He's got that kind of game when he's playing.
So a 1-and-1 for Mila. Short. Doesn't get it.
Yeah, he's a little nervous out there.
And Stonehill gets the rebound. So the Friars not really off to a great start from the foul line tonight. They're just 2 of 4. Left side with it is Kofi. Kofi on the left wing for Simona. Ball goes away and skips off the purple shirt out of bounds on the right sideline, and a turnover for Stonehill.
Yeah, that wasn't a good turn. No turnovers are good, but that one there was bad. He just threw the ball at his feet out of bounds.
That's their 4th turnover of the half. The Friars will get it back here. 7:27 to go in the half and a 2-point lead. Joseph into the forecourt left. Finds Cardette, top of the key. Hesitates on the drive, gets down into the post, lobs it back out front for Floyd. Corey back to Bensley. Bensley uses a screen, kicks it back out to Mila. They want him to shoot, but he won't take it. Instead, he'll drive and lay it up and score.
He's smooth. I tell you, man, he pump faked on that one, took it right down the middle there and used the offhand, the left hand off the glass. Good move.
First basket for the freshman from Natick, Massachusetts. And the Friars have a 4-point lead. Chaz Stinson, left-handed dribble. Goes up the runner over Floyd. Rolls it up. No good. Rebound tip. No good. Cardette with the rebound. Cardette now pushes with a dribble on the drive into the forecourt. Angles to the right side in front of the Stonehill bench as the Skyhawks pick up man-to-man. Up high for Abdur Rahim. Swings it left outside the arc for Floyd. Floyd wants a screen. Cuts to the right side of that. Now Cardette swings into the lane. Stops back. Goes to the right. Uses his body. Won't get it. Rebound tapped, and he'll draw a foul.
Good move there by Cardette. They're trying to spread the floor and get to the basket. Stonehill's taking away the three-point shot. The Friars are turning the corner and get to the rim. That's what you need to do. If you're going to take away the three on you, get to the basket. There's nobody back there that can block shots for Stonehill, so you can attack the paint and get some scores in the paint.
Kofi picks up the foul. That's the 9th on the team. Cardette will get 2 shots here. So Wesley Cardette, the transfer from Chicago State, was a 72% foul shooter a season ago, in and out on the free throw, and the Friars just 2 for their first 5 from the foul line tonight. Friars as a team were 72% a year ago. That's 3 straight misses at the foul line here tonight, but this is a 2-shot foul. And his second shot is on the way, and it's in and out. No good. It's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah. Got to make free throws. I mean, there's nobody on you from 15 feet.
So again, Stonehill with the ball. Friars lead by 4. Pass comes to the left wing for Simona. On the left side in front of the Friar bench. Now for Stinson. The ball gets away on the right side and out of bounds and a turnover.
Again, threw it to Casper over there. The guy was backdoor cutting. There's nobody there to catch it.
This is Alex Bates checking in now for Stonehill. 6'5" sophomore. Transfer from Iona.
You know, you look at this Stonehill, they run offense a lot like Princeton used to run, you know, but you have a shot clock here now, and you can really defend it with a shot clock.
Joseph comes off a high screen, goes right down the lane, stops as the ball stripped. And what? Offensive foul.
An offensive foul on Joseph.
Wow. Been some, shall we say, unusual calls by the officiating crew here in the opening half.
Well, it doesn't happen.
Never.
Never happens.
Never. Well, that's a turnover for the Friars. And that's their 7th of the first half. 5:55 to go. Still a 24-20 game for Providence. With it is Bates. Top of the key with it. Shares it to Morgan. Morgan comes cross court, left wing. That's Kofi for 3. Off the rim. Mila with the rebound. The Friar defense has definitely picked up the pace. But where's the offense? Mila finds Corey Floyd. Jabri has it off the top of the key, spins into the lane, leans in, starts on the left side, kicks it back out for Cardette. Cardette waits for a screen, works 1-on-2, leans in, back out front for Jabri, 10 to shoot. He gets cut off as he attacks the free throw line, hesitates, 6 to shoot, backdoor to Joseph for a layup and a score.
Good job by Joseph on the back door. Fry's doing a little bit too much one-on-one. Whoever gets the ball on top of the key tries to go one-on-one to beat his man. Good defense by Stonehill, but you got to get more motion out there. Everybody's standing around watching the dribbler.
First basket of the game for Bensley Joseph. Friars now lead by 6. There's a steal, tipped away by Floyd to Cardette. Up the floor to Jabri on the left wing. He'll penetrate down to the block, gets cut off, back out to Wesley. Now Wesley shakes, drives, spins in the lane, kicks it off into the right corner. Mila doesn't get the open look. Joseph will take the shot. He'll hit it.
Good ball movement that time by the Friars. Little penetration. Look to the basket, nothing there, and they throw it out for the wide open 3.
And a timeout for Chris Krause and Stonehill. Friars on a 7-0 run with 4:43 here to go in the first half, and Providence has their largest lead at 29-20. 30-second timeout here for Stonehill.
You know, with that group that they had out there, defensively, they did a good job of taking away what Stonehill wanted to do. They had 2 turnovers, throwing the ball away. And on the offensive end, except for one possession where they were all going one-on-one there, Cardette and Rahim, when they move the ball on themselves and cut, that's when the offense is very fluent because they all can score on the perimeter.
So a 29-20 lead here. Friar defense has held Stonehill scoreless in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, Stonehill came out shooting the three-pointer wide open. The Friars defense wasn't really there, and now they picked it up. They're overplaying the passing lanes and forcing Stonehill to go back door, and that's where they had a couple of turnovers.
Skyhawks have had a busy week. This is already their third game over the last 6 days. Opened up on Monday with a win over Division III Framingham State. Lost at Notre Dame on Wednesday by 29. And playing the Friars here tonight. Inbounds in the backcourt and handled here by Christopher Mellis. Mellis, one of the few seniors on this team, has it to the foul line. Friars leave him alone. He drives inside on Sandico, who's checked back into the game for the Friars. Back out front now for Morgan. Morgan drives on Floyd around the screen. Steps back. Three-pointer on the way. Off the iron. No rebound. Joseph.
Good D there by Floyd, forcing him to take a fall away.
Bensley on the drive. Stops at the left elbow. Backs it outside the three-point strike. High screen set. Gets into the lane. Two purple shirts there. Back out front to Floyd. He gets dribble penetration. Muscles it up. Rolls it in. Gets fouled.
That's what he's got to do. And when Corey Floyd penetrates like that, he's got to look to think about shooting the ball. Get in the paint there. He's very strong. Pump fake. Create some contact and get the shot off in the paint.
So Corey Floyd's first basket of the game after scoring 6 in the opener against Central. And a 9-0 run here for the Friars. And if you want to take it a step further, it's actually 12-2 run. And Floyd will have a chance to stop the Schneid here on the foul line and give the Friars a 12-point lead. It's 31-20 with 4:06 to go in the first half. And the free throw is good.
You know, it's no coincidence that Milo, who hasn't played at all this year, he's been in the ball game during this whole run. Yeah, he just gets it. I mean, he's the kind of guy that, you know, every coach loves to have. You know, when he's on the floor, good things happen.
13-2 run over the last 6 minutes of this game. And scoreless on almost 5 minutes now are the Skyhawks. Controlling it is Nesbitt. Hands off to the right side for Kofi. Back out front now for Stinson. Comes to the left wing and finds Todd Brogna. Now to the right side again for Nesbitt. Top of the key. Kofi, jumper, free throw line extended. In and out. No good. Rebound tap out of bounds. It's going to be Providence ball. Last touch there by Mellis.
Mellis is one of my favorite guys in this Friar team, John. You see he was on that rebound right there. He boxed out. The ball was knocked out of bounds.
Officials timeout. 3:44 to go in the first half. And the Friars on a big run here. 13-2. They've got a 32-20 lead from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
I don't know how much time Mila's going to get, but I mean, I like his game. I think he's solid.
You might be able to do it there. Try the local. Try the local, the other one. Oh, does that work?
The Redwood's the station.
I can't hear you at all.
Thank you.
Okay. One for the last 12. All right.
Tonight's hero is Technical Sergeant Ryan Murray. Technical Sergeant Murray enlisted in the Rhode Island National Guard in September of 2009 with 15 years of dedicated service.
What was that run, John? Was it 12-1 run?
13-2.
Now, how many minutes is that?
Over 6 minutes.
Yeah, Mila was in the ball game for 5 of those minutes.
He has completed multiple deployments to Kuwait and Africa and is known for his great sense of humor and is respected by his commander and team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Technical Sergeant Murray.
Janney Montgomery Scott helps clients connect their life and their finances. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC. Member, NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. John and Joe at the amp. It's a 13-2 run for the Friars over the last 6.5 minutes of this half. Friars have made 4 shots in a row from the floor. Stonehill, Joe, just 1 for their last 11.
Yeah, they were shooting over 50 for a while now. Stonehill's only 33% from the floor. The Friars are at 50, though. The Friars at 12 for 24. 5 for 11 from 3. Struggling from the foul line, though, John. 3 for 8. That's no good. The Friars have 21 rebounds in the ball game to just 10 for Stonehill. That's obvious because Stonehill is significantly undersized playing against this Friar team. But the defense now is really making it difficult for Stonehill to get a good look at the basket.
You mentioned 3 of 8 at the foul line, but the defense has certainly picked it up. Stonehill had hit 55% by the second time out of the half, and they're down to 33%. That's what 1 for 12 from the floor now will do for you.
Yep, good decision-making by the Friars on the offensive end. You know, when they go one-on-one, that kind of hurts them a bit, but when they're moving themselves and the ball, good things happen. Perfect.
Friars with the basketball into the backcourt is Corey Floyd with it. 3:40 to go in the half, and the Friars have a 12-point lead. Floyd has it against the man defense. Top of the key for Asandiko. Drives right, hands off for Joseph. Joseph penetrates at the foul line, spins to the right, finds Crease in the right flat, loses the ball, out of bounds.
Well, they're trying to set up a play to get the ball to Crease on that post-up. They just didn't get that position good enough, and the pass was kind of a tough one to handle.
Notice that when the Friar bigs come into the game, man, they get their hands attacked by the opposition. So that's going to be something that will definitely be a point of emphasis from this point forward. On the left wing with it is Mellis. Mellis works his way to the top of the key. Now crosses over, spins into the lane on Asandiko. Reversal top of the key for Nesbitt. Back left again for Simona. Simona now finds Stinson, who drives the paint. Off to the right side. A lob up is tipped away and taken by Fernandez. Fernandez has it into the forecourt. Comes right for Mila. Behind the back with the dribble, and he gets fouled by Mellis, and it'll put Mila at the line shooting 2. That's the 10th team foul.
See Mila right there. I mean, he just, again, he has a great knack. This big run the Friars have had, John, he's been on the floor the whole time. He's the only guy that hasn't been substituted for. Didn't play at all in the last ball game, but he's one of those guys that keep reiterating that fact. But he's just one of those guys, he's a glue guy, and he just makes good decisions. Made a good move right there, picks up the foul, and gets himself to the line. The first foul shot he took, little short, probably had a little cotton mouth there the first time in the ball game. We've all been there.
Cool. Ryan Mila
boom, make that shot.
The free throw.
I remember my first game for the Friars. I had a fast break layup. I went up to lay it up, and my legs felt like they were falling off my hips. I thought I was going to fall down like a horse.
Second shot for Mila is on the way, and he got them both.
Nothing but net for both of those.
He's got 4 points here in the first half, and he comes out for Jabri Abdur-Rahim.
He did a good job. I mean, when he was in the ball game, he played smart.
Good boost for the Friars. A great plus-minus rating tonight, right?
Oh, he's got the best one.
Ball is tipped away by Asandiko into the backcourt. Saved there, driving with it is Nesbitt. Kicks the ball out. Left side, three-pointer on the way by Simona. Off the back iron. Floyd with the rebound. Floyd now has the drive into the forecourt to our right. Up the left sideline. Left corner. Fernandez for 3. Can't. Rebound. Rahim
what a shot.
It in. He caught it in midair, threw it off of the backboard and in all in one motion and drew the foul.
Man, he went up for the rebound, felt the contact, and just tipped it in. He didn't come down with the ball. He did it all in one motion and scores the basket and gets to the foul line. Good play by the big fella.
Great play by Jabri Abdur-Rahim. The foul is called on Amir Nesbitt. And so Jabri will have a chance at 3 the hard way. Has 2 early threes here in the game. 8 points here in the first half, and the Friar run continues to roll here as the free throw is good.
Well, Rahim's 6'8", and playing in the backcourt, so you have a guy that big can shoot threes and get to the basket as well and rebound. That's a great bonus.
It's an 18-2 Friar run over the last 7:45, and it's 37-20 on the left wing. Simona in front of the Friar bench, top of the key for Kofi. A drive to the right, Nesbitt, and it got a bump.
Well,
and they're going to call it on Joseph.
Yeah, you can't reach in like that. You know, that's a CYO move. You got to move your feet. You're going to get a foul every time when that happens.
That's his second foul, and that is team foul 7. So with 2:12 to go in the half, it'll be Stonehill now to the line for a 1-and-1. Floyd back into the game. Joseph with 2 fouls will come to the bench.
So Corey again now will have to be the point guard with the unit you have out on the floor right now.
Amir Nesbitt. Free throw, in and out. Rebound for Justin Fernandez. Quick pass into the forecourt. Gets stolen on the right wing by Stinson, who drives. And Fernandez blocks the shot, but they'll call him for a foul. As Nesbitt,
terrible call.
Stinson, actually, I should say, drove into him. It looked like he got a clean block.
It was a clean block. The other official had a better look. He didn't even see that one. There was bodies in front of him. That's a bad call. Justin Fernandez's head was almost hitting the backboard. He was so far up and went straight up in the air with his hands up. He didn't lean off across or anything.
So Fernandez with the foul call, and it will put the free throw line Stinson no good on the free throw, so ball don't lie.
The Charles Barkley made that famous ball don't lie.
Well, the only size on this real Stonehill team has just come into the game. 7-foot freshman Keyshawn Shillingford out of Dominica. Second shot is no good. And Arunse gets the rebound for the Friars, who just came back into the game. So the scoreless streak is still over the last 6 and almost 7 minutes now for Stonehill. Cardette off the high screen. Has it out near the three-point line. Left for Corey Floyd. Floyd gets the screen set, cuts to the left, goes right to the basket, got it tipped away from behind and stolen. Picked up by Simona. In the backcourt now for Nesbitt. Nesbitt, right side three-pointer. Kofi hits, and the scoring streak is over. The scoring drought was 7 minutes and 6 seconds before that three-pointer by Herman Kofi. And a timeout called by Stonehill with 1:38 to go. Or the Friars called it.
Coach Inglis called that timeout. He had a few words for the guys on the floor, giving up an open shot. The only shots that Stonehill has made early on in the game were the open threes, and they finally got an open look on that one, and they knocked it down. You can't give up open shots. You got to challenge the shooters.
So the Friars had a 17-point lead, now at 14. And really the one big culprit here has been turnovers again, like it was in the first half. On Monday, the Friars have 10 turnovers here in the first half. Fortunately, at least for Providence, only 4 points off of those turnovers for Stonehill.
Yeah, Stonehill, again, their lack of size, John, is a problem because when they get to the basket, they have a tough time getting the shot off, and it's contested. They need to draw the defense in and then throw it out and knock down three-pointers, and that's what they did when they started the ball game. But then they went on a cold spell, and the Friars have just been able to get what they want on the offensive end.
Well, Providence will get back into play after the timeout was called there by Kim English. Floyd hands off left. Cardette up high for Oswin. Now Oswin, top right for Floyd. A handoff underhand for Cardette. Quick move down into the post. Got his position. Fadeaway jumper, good from 8.
That's what he's got to do. I mean, make up your mind. The play's for you. You're going to beat your man. You take him to the basket. If he takes away the drive, just pull up and take a jumper.
12 first-half points for Wesley Cardette. Friars back up 16. On the high post, this is Shillingford, the freshman. Turns and looks. Wants to give the ball back out to somebody. Has a couple of dribbles. Got it knocked away. Cardette goes to the floor for the ball. He goes out of bounds, and it's off of Purple, and the Friars will get it.
Get a little 57 seconds now, 30 on the shot clock. Obviously, you can get maybe a quick 2-for-1 here if you need to. Get plenty of time to get 2 possessions out of this last minute.
8th turnover of the half for Stonehill. Abdur Rahim will.
How come there's only 20 seconds on the shot clock?
I'm not sure. Shouldn't it be a full possession? Here's Abdur Rahim for
foul.
3. Oh, and he got knocked to the floor off the side of the rim. He's going to get 3 free throws. And the foul is called on Luis Simona, who ran into him just as soon as he let the shot go.
Yeah, he hit him right in the hip there. But Rahim, when he squares that up, he's got a nice fluid stroke.
So it'll be Jabri Abdur Rahim shooting 3 at the foul line.
He had some nice elevation on that shot, too, John. He came off the screen and he elevated to shoot the 3.
It's the first one. He was an 89% foul shooter at Georgia last year, averaging better than 12 points per game. Second shot is good. I think we know who we want at the line in crunch time.
Oh, definitely. Him and Jaden Pierre.
Likely, right?
Jaden hit 4 straight in the last ball game to ice the game.
And that one around the rim and no good, but there's Cardette with the offensive rebound. Back out to Abdur Rahim for 3. Yes!
He got a 5-point play on that one. He missed 2 free throws, and then he gets the rebound and knocks down a 3-pointer.
44-23. Friar lead is 21 with 35 seconds to go before halftime. Off the screen, Nesbitt to the right, throws up the floater at the rim and scores.
They're going to give up a few of those during the course of the year because they want to fight over the top of the screen. If they get beat, you got to get some defensive help.
Friars play for the final shot, down to 19 seconds. Floyd has it to the forecourt to our right. On the near side, high screen set by Osmond, cuts to the left, stops, Penetrates, steps back, fires the three. Off the iron, long rebound, chased down by Nesbitt. Nesbitt up the floor. He'll find Stinson. Stinson gets Floyd up in the air, and he crashes down on top of him with 4 seconds to go.
No, they say that ball went out of bounds. He's not going to call a foul.
Oh, wow. So the ball out of bounds before the contact on the play?
Yeah, Corey was going to go up
and the
there
Friars are going to get the ball.
Shot. Yeah.
Listen, I actually kind of feel for Chris Krause on that one. He's got his hand inside like, what was that call? So here we go. 4 seconds left to see if the Friars can get one off.
Here's when you want Bensley Joseph in the ball game because he's so fast, come up the court with the ball.
Exactly, and so that's what Kim English does. He brings Bensley in for Rich Barron. Well, let's see how you play this one. This is a great
Bensley, and you just go.
Great opportunity here for learning. Cardette, he finds Floyd. Floyd, half court to the top of the key. Lets it fly. Off the rim, it won't go. Skids off the rim. But the Friars will still take a 19-point lead into the locker room at halftime. It was a 22-5 run over the last 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And the Friars will take the 19-point lead at 44-25 into the locker room.
Yeah, they finally got the defense to work too, John, in this first half. But then they got some good offense from the defense and got some turnovers against Stonehill and turned them into points.
Austin Rook joins us for our halftime report. That's coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Yeah, so we got to get a Jabri 3 in there. And do you have any buckets by Cardette? Okay.
Sam, he'll call this a little bit differently, so he'll call these shots individually to just decide, Austin, which one you want first.
Yeah, we'll leave with the Jabri 3, but you can come back clean from break. I'll introduce both highlights.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you.
So I'll introduce those individually. I'll say a little bit, and then I'll throw it to break. Thanks. Okay. You know what I realized? I don't know if the candy lady knows that we switched spots. She's probably all confused. Friars with a 44-25 lead over the Stonehill Skyhawks here in downtown Providence at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. Hi again, everyone. Austin Rook with you here at halftime at the AMP, and the Friars with that 19-point lead. It got a little dicey about halfway through that first half, but they rip off a 22-5 run over the final 7:15 of the opening frame to give themselves that 44-25 lead. And they were led in the first half by two men, two transfers, in fact. Of course, in this day and age in college basketball, almost everyone's a transfer, but the two leading the Friars, Jabri Abdur-Rahim and Wesley Cardette. Jabri, 3 of 4 from downtown in the first half, including this tray. Abdur-Rahim, 14 points, 4 of 6 from the field, including 3 of 4 from downtown. Had 3 free throws as well off a foul on a 3 toward the end of that half. Wesley Cardette, 12 points in the opening half, had 10 in about 10 minutes of game action. Played 15 minutes of that first half, but he had about 10 in 10 minutes. 5 of 7 from the field, including this 3 at the end of the shot clock. Wesley Cardette, a freak athlete and known as a microwave type scorer coming out of Chicago State and Samford over the last few years. Friars with a 19-point advantage over the Stonehill Skyhawks out of the Northeast Conference. Back with more here at halftime from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Is there anything that you want me to shout out in the second segment? Rook? Nothing in particular? All right. I can't hear you. Scoreboard, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Austin Rook back here at the Amp. Friars with a 44-25 lead over the Stonehill Skyhawks here in downtown Providence. Let's get a scoreboard update in the Big East tonight. 4 other games, including 3 that have already gone final. We'll start in South Orange, where the Fordham Rams get a buzzer beater to beat Seton Hall. Mentioned it earlier in the game. It's the first loss at Walsh Gym for Seton Hall since 1989. They lose 57-56, and another bye game that is lost by the Big East. That's 3 this week, including losses by Butler, Butler as well. Now Seton Hall joining the party with Butler losing to Austin P last night. So St. John's, they were down at half by 4 to Quinnipiac at Carnesecca, but they pull away with 61 points in the second half. They beat the Quinnipiac Bobcats 96-73, 24 points and 13 rebounds for R.J. Lewis for the Red Storm. But a name to watch, if you're a Big East fan, especially early in this non-conference slate, it might just be old friend Ed Cooley's freshman center, Thomas Sorber. Second straight double-double for the Georgetown big man. They pull away from Fairfield in D.C., 69-57. Second straight double-double for Sorber with over 20 points. Another game will tip off at 8 o'clock tonight. UConn, number 3 UConn, against New Hampshire. Right here, 44-25. The Friars with a 19-point lead against the Stonehill Skyhawks. Second half action coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
I know, but I mean, you know, they drop, we move up in the polls. So you're going to have both 3 and 4 losing, so we'll move up to third, probably behind Ohio State and Oregon. It's all going to come down. We get in the SEC title game. If they don't stub their toes next week, we'll get in the SEC title game by beating A&M. It's all going to come down to that game. Yeah. Yeah. God, just like the old days. Just like the old days. I think it's tomorrow might be a nice day for golf. What do you think?
chilly, man. It'll be chilly tomorrow.
John and Joe back inside the amp. 44-25 for the Friars at halftime over the Stonehill Skyhawks. Joe, we look at the numbers. Providence ended up shooting 50%, held Stonehill to 38%. Just 8 of 14 from the foul line, but if you're going to find a fault, it's got to be 10 turnovers in that half.
Yeah, the Friars have been turning the ball over a little bit too much, but that comes with the growing pains of throwing in different lineups all the time and guys just trying to get in sync. I think that'll be corrected as more games go down the line, but they shot the ball pretty well, and that's what you want to do. The last ball game, they struggled shooting the ball, so they worked on that in practice this week to get the offense back in sync. And normally, early on in the year, your defense is a little bit ahead of the offense because coaches work on defense constantly because you feel like if you can get stops every night and you have bad shooting nights, you're still in the ball game. So they work on that first, but you got to stop putting the ball in the hole, and they're making shots in this one. The defense was a little lax in the first part of the first half, but then they got to go in the second part of that first half where they start overplaying the passing lanes and turned Stonehill over. Stonehill had the 9 turnovers, and Friars got some nice points off those turnovers.
They did. They got 16 off of the 9 turnovers, while Stonehill only scored 4 off of the 10 turnovers.
Right.
That's a big difference in the game.
Exactly.
So 16 to 4 points off turnovers.
Right. They turned it into points, and that's what you want to do. I mean, you got to turn that defense into offense, but I like to see their offense in the half-court set get a little bit more fluid. I mean, they had a couple of breakdowns where they went one-on-one a little bit too much with the dribble. When they're moving, setting screens, they get guys open.
All right. As far as the first half scoring, 14 for Jabri Abdur-Rahim to lead all scorers, 12 for Wesley Cardette. Stonehill was led by 8 points from Amir Nesbitt and 6 from Chaz Stinson. 22-5 run for the Friars over the last 7 minutes and 15 seconds of the half to take this 19-point lead at halftime.
Well, it's nice to see a guy shoot the ball too, John. Jabri Rahim, I mean, he was knocking down everything out there. He was 3 for 4 from three-point range. He'll be mad at himself as he missed a free throw. He's an 86% career free throw shooter, but he gave him a big spark on the offensive end, being the leading scorer. He did a nice job when he squares up. Boy, when he's wide open, he really misses.
Original 5 out on the floor for the Friars. You've got Arunse, Floyd, Joseph, Cardette, and Pierre. Stonehill with their original 5, Brogna, Morgan, Muser, Nesbitt, Stinson. Purple shirts for the Skyhawks open up with the ball to start the second half. Their basket to our right on the radio here inside the amp. We're underway. Friars in the man-to-man. Off the high screen as Nesbitt gets cut off, left wing. And with it is Brogna. Brogna works into the post on Arunse, goes up high over his head, won't get it. Rebound is tapped out. Brogna pulls it away from Arunse, goes back up and under, got it rejected, but then Oswin fouls him with the body.
Well, the young freshman got schooled a little bit there with the body. As Brogdon just kept banging in his chest, didn't let Oswin get any leverage to block the shot, and he finally picked up a foul on him. Oswin played good position, D, but, Oswin will realize the more he plays in the back there, just back off that guy a little bit and give yourself some space where you can reject those shots. I mean, Oswin's 7 feet. This kid Brogdon's only about 6'7". I mean, he should not be able to get into his level.
Brogdon, that's his first point of the game, averaging 18 per game in their first 2. And then he misses the second free throw, and Cardette gets the rebound. Friars basket to our left. Cardette spins down to the left post. Double team. Kicks the ball out to Jaden Pierre. Doesn't get the open look. He gets into the lane. Comes all the way through the left wing. Cardette gets off the 3. Nope. Too strong. And the rebound taken in the middle of the lane by Stinson. Stinson pushes up the right side for Nesbitt. Nesbitt in front of his coach. On the right side against Jaden Pierre. Comes off a high screen. Gives the ball back to Brogna. Back to Nesbitt again off the top of the key. Nesbitt comes right and finds Stinson into the right corner. Ball gets knocked out of bounds by Pierre. Thought he might have had a steal.
Well, Pierre did a nice job of fronting the big fella inside. Brogna tried to take another post-up play. They're trying to get the ball inside to Brogna.
Stonehill inbounded from the right corner, right in front of their bench with 14 to shoot. And a lob out to Brogna near the mid-floor circle. Now he'll dump it off to the right side for Nesbitt. Nesbitt will go against Cardette. 7 to shoot. Crosses to the right. Gets down to the post. Up and over. Lays it up. Scores. Nice play.
Good move there. He did a nice job of probing the defense. Saw the little seam there and got through it.
10 for Amir Nesbitt, the transfer from Hampton University. And it's 44-28. High post. Arunse. And the big O. Hands off. Deep 3. Joseph. Short. Rebound. Arunse had it. Saved by Cardette. Out in the backcourt and saved from the backcourt to Corey Floyd. Comes to the left wing for Pierre. Shot clock at 14. Pierre moves to the right, lost the dribble, picks it up, goes to the right side, and
Carried it.
Yeah,
it was a late whistle, but he did do that. I mean, Pierre was going to shoot that ball, but he lost control of it. He came up the screen, he was looking to shoot, but he lost control, so he kept going to the basket and picked up the turnover.
That's 11 turnovers for the game for the Friars. A little bit of a slow start here.
Yeah,
in the
they
second
came out
half.
flat here in the second half.
Man,
you don't want to get in those bad habits.
No, you certainly don't. That's the first thought here. Nesbitt tries to back his way in on Joseph, comes off a high screen. Gets cut off at the top of the key by Arunse. Left side for Muser. Ethan Muser up high again for Nesbitt. Nesbitt back to Muser outside the three-point stripe. Comes across the middle and finds Morgan. Josh Morgan down on the post, spins, puts it up short, won't get it. Rebound tapped out. Loose ball is taken by Stinson. Loose on the floor. Stinson goes to the floor. Friars jump on top of the ball. Held ball. And the arrow belongs to Providence. Here comes Kreese DeSandico back into the game for the Friars.
Friars need to get Kreese going here. You know, his first game, he really struggled out there with turnovers and taking bad shots. And in this ball game, he really hasn't settled in yet. I mean, for the Friars to be a good club this year, Kreese has to be a solid player in the center position.
No doubt.
The other two guys, you know, Oswin and Bonk are very inexperienced, and Kreese has played a lot of games, so he needs to get going.
Pierre, left side, now middle for Cardette, off to the right wing for Floyd. Torrey pulls it out, has DeSandico up, and the ball gets stolen. Taken by Muser, down the floor. Muser goes up against Floyd and scores off the glass.
The Friars come out the way they started the ball game. That on the defensive end,
5-0
turn the
run.
ball over.
5-0 run for Stonehill to start the second half, the opening 2.5 minutes. Off the screen, Joseph gave it back to Sandico, got away with a walk.
He did.
Out to Cardette. Cardette drives the lane, leaves it to Sandico underneath, loses the ball, saves it, throws it away, got tipped out of bounds. And the Friars will get it back with 7 to shoot.
Sandico almost got another turnover right there, John. I mean, he's got that close to the basket. He's got to take it up inside, especially against his Stonehill team. Really didn't have any size in there.
19-point game at half is down to 14.
Well, it's the way they got it, too. The Friars just come out sleepwalking here.
Cardette to Joseph, gets around his man, penetrates in the lane,
Nice
puts it up with the
move.
left hand, won't get it to go, but he got a foul on his way to the basket. Going to go to the free throw line. A foul is called underneath on Ethan Muser.
He's got that extra gear, Joseph. Remember the kid Durham we had here for 1 year?
Yep.
He could turn that speed up when he had an opening, and that's Joseph the same way. He just blows the defender to sleep, and then boom, he blows right by him and beat 3 guys to the basket right there, picks up the foul.
So Bensley will go to the free throw line here. Had 5 points in the first half. And these will be his first free throws as a Friar. He had his career high, tied his career high 21 against Central Connecticut on Monday without going to the foul line. And the first one is good.
Well, he had 2 big shots in that game. I mean, Friars were down 4. He hits a 3-pointer. After the Friars missed 3 in a row, they got 4 shots at the basket. He knocks down a 3, and then he hits another one to put him up by 2 at that point. I mean, they hadn't had a lead the whole ball game. It's the first minute of the game.
Hit them both. Friars finally score almost 3 minutes deep into the second half. It's 46-30. Into the forecourt up the left sideline is Chaz Stinson. Stinson around Joseph, down to the post, dumps it off underneath, and a layup
easy
for Stinson.
Too easy. The defense is just not showing up here so far in the second half.
High post to Sandico. Sandico 2 dribbles, handoff on the left wing for Floyd. Floyd gets into the lane.
Go up strong.
Spins to the right. Gets the double team. Got their shot blocked. Tipped out to Cardette. Taken away. Stolen by Nesbitt. Nesbitt crosses over on Pierre. Works down to the left. Out front for Muser for 3. Off the rim. Rebound for Joseph. Bensley has the dribble. Into the forecourt. Waits for teammates to pass him by. Throws it to Sandico. And a hold is called in the post on Muser. No, they'll call 1 for it, rather. It's Josh Morgan will pick up his 3rd personal foul. Second team foul in the half on Stonehill.
And Raheem comes in the ball game. We shot the lights out in the first half, get him in quickly here, where the Friars offense has been struggling so far. Well, the defense hasn't been very good either, but they need to get it going on both ends now.
Shot clock at 25. So as you said, Abdur Rahim is in. You've got Louis Simonas checked in for Stonehill. Coming off the screen, inbound baseline left, finds Abdur Rahim in the left corner in front of his bench. Out to Asandiko, back to Jabri, gives it right back to Asandiko, lays it up, scores, and gets fouled.
Good pass there by Raheem. You know, as soon as in the ball game, he comes in and makes an impact. And the reason why is he's such a good shooter that the defense, both guys went out on him. Forgot about Kreese going to the basket. He was able to finish there at the rim, gets the foul, gets a three-point play opportunity. Maybe that'll get his confidence going right now. Kreese's confidence right now is not good. He's just trying to do too much out there to get himself involved.
It's his first basket of the game, and the free throw here is in and out. 48-32, Stonehill with the basketball. 16-12 to go here in the second half. And this is Stinson with it on the high post to Brogna. Brogna dribbles to the right toward his bench. A handoff there on the left wing. Driving to the left is Morgan. Back out to Brogna. Gets off a catch and shoot. In and out. Rebound taken by Abdur-Rahim. Joseph up the left sideline. Feeds Asandiko in the post. Works his way to the post on the left side. Spins.
Go up.
Tries to go up and under. And what's the call? Offensive foul. Offensive foul. Increased Asandiko.
Well,
using his off elbow.
He just took one extra dribble that he didn't need. He had his man underneath the basket. Just turn around and get off the glass. He's just trying to do too much out there. It's just do the simple things to get it done.
15:44 to go in the second half. Providence 48, Stonehill 32 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Yep. The New England laborers are training the workforce of today that will build tomorrow. They have state-of-the-art training academies throughout New England. You'll be equipped with the construction skills, knowledge, and experience to start your career and a better tomorrow. LIUNA. Feel the power.
Well, this start the second half, John's a carbon copy of the way the game started. The Friars had 3 turnovers in their first 7 possessions of the game. Same thing happened in the second half. Stonehill, no turnovers so far in the second half, and they're being a little bit more efficient on the offensive end, and they've crawled back in the game a little bit, but the Friars are sleepwalking on both ends of the court. They need to get it going again.
Grace DeSandico has 8 turnovers in the game and a half that he's been in a Friar uniform, and man, you're right. You talk about somebody who's probably getting beat up mentally on this one. It's him right now.
Yeah, I mean, Kreese needs to get some touches and get some scores where he gets his confidence up. I mean, he's just not playing the way he's capable of playing.
He's out there right now. Stonehill with the basketball, 15:44 to go, and a 48-32 Providence lead. They led by as much as 19 in the first half. That was the lead at halftime. In the backcourt is Stinson. Stinson will hand off to Louis Simona, the sophomore from Cincinnati. Curls around the right, gets down to the block, pulls the dribble back out, goes up underneath for Brogna, and a whistle, and it's out of bounds off of Brogna's legs, and it's a turnover.
Brogna had that lane beat too, but Kreese came over and deflected the ball off his leg out of bounds.
11 turnovers now for the Skyhawks. Let's see if the Friars can take advantage of it. It'll be Bensley Joseph bringing it into the forecourt. Rich Barron back into the game. Abdur-Rahim finds Pierre back to Rich on the left wing. Now back out to Pierre. High post for Sandico. Sandico, 2 dribbles to the right elbow. Hands off for Joseph. Spins to his left. Backs up. He feeds the post. The ball is intercepted by Stinson. Stinson up the left side. Crossover down the lane. Puts it up. Won't get it. Sandico with a rebound. Gives the ball back to Pierre. Now Pierre in traffic. Weaving to the right. Going hard to the right. And gets cut off by Chaz Stinson.
See another turnover again for the Friars. That's their 4th one. I think they're trying so hard to get the ball to Sandico inside to get him involved that they're forcing it into him. You know, it's not there. Go to the second option, third option.
Wholesale substitutions as Stinson picks up his 2nd foul. And so Chris Krause, the Stonehill coach, puts 4 new players out there. Friars will inbound it with 25 to shoot from the baseline, right of the basket, out to Sandico. Hands off to Joseph on the right side. Kicks it back left for Jabri. Fakes the 3, scoots to the right, fires the 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound. Pierre on the offensive glass, chases it down on the baseline. And then he loses the ball right in front of the Friar bench. It goes out of bounds, and Providence will keep it with 17 to shoot.
Good rebound by Jaden Pierre. He came from the right side of the court to the left side to get that rebound. The Friars get a second shot opportunity.
Cardette back into the game, replacing Jaden Pierre, who got a good hustle play on that one. So Cardette will inbound in front of his bench to the left. Lobs it back out front for Joseph. Lobs it up high for Sandico. Turns, faces the defense. 1 dribble, hands off for Joseph. 9 to shoot. Bensley drives down to Sandico for the jam.
Good play by Bensley Joseph right there. They're trying to get the ball to crease. Get him involved. Get him some confidence.
That's his 2nd basket of the game. Friars back up 18. On the right side is Nesbitt. Gets back to the foul line for the jumper up and in.
Too easy. You get Nesbitt a wide open jumper right there at the foul line. Most guys are going to make that shot.
Amir Nesbitt has 12 to lead the Skyhawks. On the high post, Sandico, right corner. Barron, Sandico up high. He loses the dribble off his leg and out of bounds. That looked more like a miscommunication between him and Cardette that time, and it really was Crease's fault on the fumble.
Yeah, he's got to hand that off. He's got to protect the ball more. I mean, the big guys are really lax with the ball. That's why they get so many turnovers.
And the opponents know. They attack the Friar bigs right at the hands every time the ball goes down low. Working to the left is Nesbitt again. Gets cut off out front. 3-pointer by Mellis is good. Christopher Mellis. His first basket of the game for the 6'5 senior from New York, and it's 50-37, down to a 13-point game.
They weren't even guarding him in the first half. They were backing off into the paint, so he says, hey, I'm going to shoot it.
And we got just over 13 and a half to play. Cardette uses Sandico as a screener, cuts to the left, out to Corey Floyd, who just came back in. Back out front for Barron. Barron penetrates left. Into the lane, stops, leans it with the left hand, scoops it up and scores.
The move by Barron right there. That's something he didn't do last year. He would take that 3-pointer or pass it. He went to the basket that time. This little spin move.
Barron's 2nd basket of the game. Nesbitt again to the right wing. Back out front for Mellis, who drives the left hand. Laid it up short. Rebound is tipped on the floor. Loose on the floor. Floyd is there. 2 purple shirts on top of him. Held ball. It will be, they're going to say it's a foul?
No, it's jump ball.
No, they're going to call a foul on 23, Christopher Mellis.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see that at all.
Well, he's throwing his body around a lot out there.
So Mellis picks up his 4th personal foul. That's 5 on the team here in the half. Here comes Anton Bonk back into the game for the Friars.
Well, you know, this Stonehill team knows they're undersized, so they're going after everything. They put everybody on the offensive glass. They're slapping and clawing, trying to get whatever they can to try to turn the Friars over.
Well, the Friars bring it back into the forecourt with Corey Floyd. Barron up on the high post for Bonk. Bonk hands off to Floyd in the left wing. Left open for 3. Got it.
He keeps shooting, Corey. Corey's had some good looks. That man will make a couple of them and knocks that one down.
That's his first made 3 of the year after going 0 for 4 on Monday. 3 in the right corner is short. Rebound is tapped. Jabri had it loose, picked up by Floyd in the paint. Floyd in transition left. Passes right for Barron. Right side for Cardette. Fakes, drives the baseline all the way through. Out front to Jabri.
Man,
goes right to Barron for 3. Off the rim, it's no good. Rebound is tapped. Bonk got the offensive rebound, and he got fouled.
About time they called a foul on
Got a
technical
technical foul called on Stonehill.
Yeah, they should. I mean, that guy's been pushing them all over the place. Yeah, you don't have the size. You can't be cheap shotting guys.
Foul is
Brogna
called on
picks up the
Brogna.
foul.
Brogna picks up the personal foul, but the technical, I think, it's called on Muser. Or are they going to give it 21-2? Both of them?
Brogna.
21? All right. So
Brogna was running down the floor.
He just fouled out of the game.
Yeah, well, he should. I mean, he's a cheap shot guy out there. He's running down the floor. He ran into Bonk. Bonk was just running down the middle, and he dove into him with his shoulders while he was running, just trying to body block him. I mean, he's got to go. You have to go.
So he just picked up a personal and a technical. That gives him 5. He's still out on the floor, but he had 3 going into that. So they're going to put Jabri Abdur-Rahim at the free throw line, at least to start here. And the officials are discussing it. Pete Larson with Wally Rutecki, the free throw line to our left.
Brogna's still out on the floor.
Brogna's still out on the floor. I don't think.
Maybe they don't give him a. You get a personal when you get a tech? Is that the rule?
It should be. Just one foul is all? All right, so. Oh, the technical is on 1, not 21. That's right. The difference. All right, so it is Jabri hitting the first free throw, hitting the second free throw. That gives him 16 to lead the Friars, and now Providence will get the possession here.
We take Brogna out of the game. I mean, he's playing hard, man. He realizes, he's 6'5", trying to play against 7'2" Bonk at 290 pounds. That doesn't work.
Inbounds comes out to Bonk, top of the key for Cardette. Floyd comes off the screen. Friars are up 20, their first 20-point lead of the season. Driving to the right side, penetration for Floyd. Leans in, 2 purple shirts on him, 6 to shoot. Cardette has it on the right wing. Out front to Barron, gets off the 3. Off the rim, no good, out of bounds.
Good defense by Stonehill right there. They would not allow the Friars to get what they wanted inside, and they shut out the outside shot as well. Good D.
And the Friars on a 7-0 run, even though Barron had the skid and the miss there, as we dip under 12 minutes to play, 57-37. Amir Nesbitt in front of his bench, works on Bonk, gets into the lane, leans in, throws it up over his head, and draws the foul. That's really all you can do against someone who's 7'2". He just threw it up over his head and leaned in to create the contact, but the official bails him out on the call.
Yeah, it's, if it's not a 20-point game, probably he doesn't make that call. I mean, Bonk had good position. He had his hands straight up. The offensive player, who's much smaller, jumps right into him.
Well, that's what, actually Michael Roberts is trying to explain to Kim English on the way out. He said, hey, he leaned into him, and I had to call it.
Didn't put his hands straight up. No, he didn't. He leaned into him.
Timeout with 11:51 to go. Friars 57, Skyhawks 37. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. No. We'll get him in. No worries. We'll get him in. Yep. Yep. Providence College basketball brought to you by Milton Cat, your Caterpillar equipment dealer for the Northeast and a proud sponsor of Providence College athletics. John Rook with Joe Hassett We've got 11:51 to go in the second half here at the Amp tonight on a Saturday night in downtown Providence. Providence with a 57-37 lead over the Stonehill Skyhawks.
Yeah, Fry's shooting 40% here in the second half, 4 for 10, but just 1 for 6 from three-point range, 4 for 5 from the line, courtesy of Raheem. I mean, he's shooting the ball 5 for 6 from the line in the ball game. As we mentioned, he's 87% career foul shooter.
Yep.
You like to have him on the line. Fry's just 12 for 19 overall from the line, but shooting the ball not bad from three-point range overall, 7 for 21 and 50% for the game. But 19 for 40. Oh, that was 50% in the first half, but 47.5% for the ball game. On the other hand, you got Stonehill at 14 to 36, struggling to get shots off. They're 5 for 15 though from three-point land. Fry's crushing them on the boards. Fry's up 35 to 17, and they should be with the size advantage that they have.
Better ball movement tonight too. 5 different Friars have multiple assists in this game.
Yeah, last game there wasn't a lot of assists in the ball game. Matter of fact, Central
Had
Connecticut
8 total on Monday.
Central Connecticut had 3.
Yeah.
3 assists in the whole ball game. I was talking to Ernie D before the ball game. I said, Ernie, you had 3 points, 3 assists before you got out of the parking lot and went for a game.
Amir Nesbitt at the free throw line after that foul on Bonk. He missed the first one. It's been a tough night at the foul line for the Skyhawks. They're 4 for 12. Second shot is on the way, in and out, no good. And I believe that means Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A foul shot is back this year. So Chick-fil-A for the house tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to Chick-fil-A, baby.
Missed them both. Friars with the ball. Here's Floyd, top of the key, driving right. Pierre back in the game in the foul lane. Puts the jumper up from 12 and scores.
Man, he put him in the spin cycle right there. Nice move by Pierre. He's got a lot of nice offensive moves. He just doesn't use a lot of them.
First basket for Jaden in the game, a 9-0 Friar run. They're up by 22.
I yell at him all the time. I said, how about you shoot the ball?
Kofi for 3, right wing, no good. Bonk, rebound, foul on the floor as Pierre got tangled up with one of the bigs. And they're going to call the foul on Jaden Pierre, who picked up his third personal. And that
Fry's are catching fouls on those plays. Like Pierre is adamant about that one. You know, Stonehill is just diving and knocking people over, getting to the basket to look for offensive rebounds. Fry's trying to box out and get blown out, and then they get picked up with the foul.
Third on Jaden, 4th team foul. Inbound to the left side for Stinson, top of the key. Simona, he shares it there with Muser. Muser drives to the left, hands off, driving to the right, Stinson. Outside the three-point stripe to Nesbitt. Nesbitt now works right, goes on Bonk. Right corner, three-pointer up, no good. Rebound, Mila in the game. Has it, and another foul is called on the Friars. Goodness.
Now they run into another guy who's in the way.
It's Jabri Abdur-Rahim who gets whistled for that one.
They're going to go look at that one, I think.
And the 3 officials are standing at the top of the key to our right, trying to decide what they want to call.
A lot of cheap shots going on out there, and it's becoming from Stonehill basically because they just don't match up physically with Providence, so they're getting in there and they're getting cheap shots to try to get the positions. That's the bottom line.
So Pete Larson comes over. And he's going to come look at the monitor. So they're going to review this for a flagrant.
On Raheem.
On Jabri Abdur-Rahim.
You see, what's going on is, again, as this Stonehill team, when they get running down the floor, they're leaning shoulders into Providence while they're running, trying to throw them off stride and bump them out of positions. And eventually it starts to get irritating because you can't match up physically with them. And then the cheap shots start to come.
We saw the replay. It didn't look like a flagrant. It looked like actually Nesbitt, or actually it was Muser that kind of sort of flopped on the play.
See, we used to have plays for guys like that who would do that stuff. You just run a back
screen and just knock him.
Ring his bell, man. Just send it, boom. You hit him right in the back of the head.
I remember those
and
days.
And you're just like, hey, he ran into me.
I know. What are you
going to do? You got to
do.
I mean, you got to send a message. You got to do that. We would do it on our own sometimes. You say, listen, we're going to run.
So now we're gonna bring
knock
everybody
them out.
All the officials are gonna
make
come
sure
over
they got some smelling salts over there to wake them up.
Right. We got 11:01 to play here in the second half. Providence with a 22-point, 59-37 lead, and we're still checking for a flagrant foul. And no, I don't know how you call that a flagrant.
He just turned around to run.
Yeah,
the guy jumps in front of him,
but the officials are still meeting right in front of the scoring table here. So we'll wait for them to make their decision and their call. Again, still early season for play as well as everybody else. Common foul on 3 is what they're saying.
Well, that's what it was. You said it
Jabri
already,
Abdur-Rahim.
John.
So
We saw that happen live.
Yep. So Jabri gets the foul. That is his first of the game. And that is foul number 5 on the Friars. So an inbounds here for the Skyhawks.
I don't know why he got a foul anyway. He was just turning around to run.
Muser gets the inbounds left side. A handoff for Nesbitt. Curls back out of the center. Back to the left side for Simona. Out to Nesbitt between the circles. Nesbitt will work on Mila. Splits 2 defenders. Gets down low. Scoops it up high. Won't get it. Mila with a defensive rebound.
Good D that time by Bonk. Went straight up.
And then Mila almost has it stolen. Got tipped out of bounds. Good hustle there by Ches Stinson. Knocked out of bounds to the left side near the Friar bench. Providence will keep it. 27 to shoot. 10:43 on the game clock. 59-37 Friars. Pierre looks for the inbounds. Floyd breaks to the ball out front. Curls to the right. Back out between the circles for Jaden.
Jaden, look for your shot here, man.
Bonk sets the screen. Jaden curls down left. Goes all the way down to the left post. Lobs it back out front for Jabri. 12 to shoot. Jabri takes his man off the dribble into the lane. Kicks it off to Mila. Hesitates. Won't take the shot. Goes to the hoop. Goes up the runner. Off the rim. It's no good. And the rebound controlled by Muser. Muser up the floor to Nesbitt. Now to left side for Simona. Left wing for Kofi. Back to Simona. Back out front for Nesbitt. Nesbitt with 1 foot in the center circle. On the high post, he'll feed Louis Simona. Now shares it again with Muser. Fires the 3 off the mark. Rebound for Floyd. Floyd now pushes in transition. A 3-on-3. Corey has it right. Gets down the lane. Leans in with the left side. Banks it up. Won't get the foul call. Again, Stonehill with a rebound. Bringing it back to the right side for Stinson. Stops outside the 3-point stripe. Onto the wing for Simona. Simona hands off on the sideline for Nesbitt, who brings the dribble slowly back out to the center. Nesbitt uses a screen, drives right, kicks the ball back out for Simona. Deep 3 on the way,
Ooh.
got it.
Good shot by Simona. I mean, Bonk was out right on the shooting here. There, you got a 7'2" guy coming at you and still able to keep your concentration, knock it down.
That's their first 3 of the second half. His second 3 of the game, and it's 59-40. Mila has it to the right of the key, hands off to Jabri. Jabri Abdur-Rahim uses a bonk screen, cuts to the left, penetrates to the foul line, traveled.
You see, I don't think he's really comfortable coming off screens off the dribble. He's better coming off the screen, catch and shoot. Or when he's spotting up shooting. When you put the ball in his hand to put him on the floor, that's the kind of guy when you're playing against him, you want him to put the ball on the floor.
That's 16 turnovers for the Friars. That matches what they had on the floor Monday in the opener.
Yeah, they
Substitutions
got to do a
now.
better job with these turnovers.
Joseph, Fernandez, Oswin, and Cardette back into the game for the Friars. Handing off right is Nesbitt. Nesbitt in front of his bench, cuts back to the center. Now goes back to the right again. He has Oswin 6 feet away. Bounce pass to Simona up high, down low, and a foul is called as they hit Brogna down low, and 3 white shirts converged on Todd Brogna, and this time it'll be number 4, Justin Fernandez with the foul.
Price had 3 guys on him at that point, and Osmond came in from behind and blocked that with his elbow.
Second foul on Justin. That is 6 on the Friars, but it'll be a 2-shot shooting foul for Todd Brogna. 1 for 2 at the line, just 1 point. Now that's his second point of the game. And he had 18. Averaged 18 in the first 2 games this week. Brogna against Notre Dame had 16 points with 4 rebounds in their loss to the Fighting Irish.
He's a tough kid. I mean, he's out there battling. He's just way undersized, having to play in the middle position.
Hit both free throws, and it's 59-42. Joseph coming off the top of the key. Alley-oop inside to the Big O.
You'll see a lot of that this year. When they get scouted, they probably won't let that happen. But you throw it up near the rim. Again, John, he plays on an 8-foot hoop, Oswin.
Oswin has 4 in the game. Top of the key for Brogna. Oswin is there guarding him. Goes back to the left wing for Nesbitt. Amir Nesbitt in the left corner against Jabri. Tries to shake him off. Gets in the lane out front. Brogna, an open 3 off the front rim. And Jabri with a rebound. Now for Cardette up the right sideline into the forecourt to our left. Stops, pops for 3, short, no. Rebound, Joseph kept it alive. Chased down in the corner by Cardette, but saved by Brogna. Up the floor Comes Josh Morgan into the lane, scoops it up the hoop, won't get it, gets his own rebound, tries to go back up, and what do we have there? All kinds of traveling and walking with the ball and reaching and grabbing. Going to be on Oswin for a foul. Third foul on Oswin Arunse. That is now 7 on the Friars here with 8:01 to go. And it'll be a 1-and-1 on the line for Josh Morgan, who has not scored tonight. 16.5 points per game in their first 2 games this year. And Morgan had 8 points in the loss at Notre Dame on Monday, and he misses the free throw here, and Oswin gets the rebound.
Yeah, Oswin almost had that one stolen away, too. He's got to squeeze that pumpkin when he gets the rebound.
Got to be stronger with it. Fernandez up high to Oswin. Takes it right, hands off to Joseph, cuts to the left, throws it down low, and that time he didn't cut to the basket. And Brogdon got intercepted.
Yeah, he stopped moving. He stopped going to the basket on that one.
Here's Kofi on the left wing, uses a high screen, cuts to the right side on the perimeter with the high dribble. That should have been a carry. Now the official's saying, what are we doing here? And there's a rebound tap, and they're going to call goaltending on Oswin.
See, I wish he would do that at the start of the game.
I mean, it's such an unbelievable double standard by the officials. I mean, my goodness. A carry is a carry.
Yeah.
And that was a carry, but the officials let him go. Timeout was 7:28 to go.
The official was giving the carry signal while he's letting play go on. People behind us are going crazy. Well, isn't that the carry?
It is a carry. 61-44. Timeout on the floor from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
I agree with you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was goaltending.
Huh?
Ball was just cresting, so it was on its way down.
I'd have him get a goaltender and start every game.
I would too. Send a message.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, John Thompson used to do that with Pat Ewing.
What?
John Thompson used to do that with Ewing.
Yeah, in the tournament he did that.
He said, I don't care where it is. Send it in the stands.
It's what?
He said he didn't care where it was or where it went. Send it into the stands.
Oh, yeah, he did that. Now you're in Wickham for him all the time.
My dad always said you were the smartest one out there.
And for water, fire, or mold damage, again, call Rhode Island Restoration, 401-414-1111. Rhode Island's top choice for property damage cleanup and repair. Emergency service available 24/7.
Well, it's turned into a pretty ugly game here, John, the last 5 or 6 minutes of this half. 7:28 to go. Friars up 61-44. Not shooting the ball very well in the second half. They're 6 for 15. You got Stonehill 7 for 20. Neither team making shots, that's for sure. Friars is 1 for 7 from 3. Stonehill's 2 for 9. And it's just turned into a rock fight right now. A lot of physicality out there, a lot of bumping and grinding.
Well, you made a good point. You made a really good point when you said, hey, Stonehill is so physically outmanned here. They have to scrap like that just to even have a shot at being competitive.
Yeah, and it's tough for the officials, too, because, you know, they always seem to side with the smaller guy against the bigger guy, and they give them the benefit of the doubt.
Why did that never seem to happen when we were the smaller guy?
I was never the smaller guy.
Top of the key for Joseph. Joseph steps back, deep three on the way, no good. Rebound Fernandez on the offensive glass. Back out to Arunse. He finds Joseph in the lane. No pass underneath. Back out to Jabri. Jabri penetrates right, kicks it through in the left corner. Cardette, great ball reversal. Fernandez had the ball knocked away and out of bounds with the ball goes Luis Simona. Great ball reversal, but the Friars just may have thrown one too many passes. Pierre Barron and Asandiko back into the game for Kim English. 7 to shoot for the Friars. 6:57 on the game clock. 17-point lead. Friars' largest lead was 22 here in the second half. Barron will inbound it from the right sideline against 7 on the shot clock. He finds Pierre between the circles. Jaden comes to the left off the screen, feeds to Sandaco in the post, steps between it, goes up with a jump hook, off the rim, won't get it. And Brogna with a rebound up the floor. He'll give it back to Nesbitt, who brings it across the mid-floor line. Nesbitt keeps the dribble low, works to the right, top of the key for Brogna, works to the left, outside the three-point stripe, now penetrates on Sandaco in the post. Turn around with a fadeaway off the iron is no good. Barron rebounds.
Good defense by Crease like they wouldn't give up the position.
Here's Jabri, handles right side for Pierre, uses an Sandaco screen, rolls down the lane, dumps it off to Crease, who goes up, scores.
Good pass there by Pierre. He could have taken that shot too. He's right on the Big East sign there with nobody on him. He could have taken a little floater, but he passed it over to Crease to finish it off.
Trying to get his big man involved. That's 6 for Sandaco in the game, 63-44. Right is Nesbitt, backs to the left. Nesbitt cut off by Crease at the top of the key. Now gives it to Simona, cuts to the right, stops his dribble, looks to the post, back out front. Pass quickly to Nesbitt on the left wing. 8 to shoot. Nesbitt gets it. Jumper up, in and out, won't stick. Barron rebound.
Good D. Make him take a tough.
Barron, quick pass down to Sandaco underneath. He's closed out there by Brogna. Starts to the right, curls in the left, spins back to the right, goes up and jams it.
Well, he's got a smaller guy on him. That's more what you're going to see with Crease right there. That's what you want to do. You want to be physical out there and get to the rim instead of shooting fallaways.
Timeout on the floor by Stonehill and Chris Kraus with 5:35 remaining, and it's 65-44 Providence. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. And we should be able to get the last break in another minute and a half or so. Yep. It'll be the under 4 timeout. So we'll be fine.
Thanks. John, this is where we sit like at midcourt at in Georgetown game.
Yeah.
Where else are we in midcourt?
I was going to say, Georgetown.
Seton Hall were more by the bench.
Yeah, we're a little more by the bench. Butler is pretty close to midcourt, and we're right next to the replay.
Yeah.
I mean, those are probably the best road seats. I don't mind the Xavier one, even though we're kind of in a corner because we're up high.
Yeah.
And obviously we're in the NBA box at Marquette. DePaul is also pretty close to mid-floor. So
you can sit wherever you want at DePaul.
Yeah. And Creighton, too.
Yeah.
SeatGeek is now the official fan ticket marketplace of the Providence Friars. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Friar fans can fan.
Well, getting Crease going out there is a big part of what the Friars are trying to do. I know it's Stonehill, but he's been out of sync and it hasn't really got into rhythm in the last ball game or this one. The last couple of minutes he's in rhythm. He's only played 10 minutes in the ball game. He's 4 for 6 from the floor. Has just 1 rebound though and 4 turnovers. He's had 9 turnovers in 2 games. So they need to get him more involved because he needs to be a big part of this team at the center position just because of his experience. He's also 7 feet tall. He's just a sophomore, but he's played 2 years of basketball. And, he's a guy that has to be a big part of this team, as I just mentioned, John, because they have inexperience at the center position. And if he can play significant minutes and get the other guys more experience to play behind him, he's going to be the guy who's going to be on. He'll be the starting center when everything gets seriously in Big East play.
Averaged a little better than 8 points, just under 6 rebounds at St. Joseph's last year. Stonehill with the ball. Ball is almost stolen by Fernandez out front, but retrieved there by Chaz Stinson. Stinson in front of his bench on the right side. Sadico there to pick him up. Back out front now for Muser. Muser goes left for Nesbitt. Into the left corner for Morgan. They feed the post. The ball is intercepted by Barron on the baseline.
Good job there. Crease went over to help out, and that's where they got the turnover.
Barron had the ball slip. Get away from him. Nesbitt takes it back, drives the other way, tipped away, loose on the floor. It's out of bounds. It's Providence ball. Great hustle by Justin Fernandez to force that turnover.
And Jaden Pierre was down there as well. Didn't give up on the play. Got to get back on defense. They had the turnover, but 3 guys sprinted down the floor and able to get the ball back.
So we dip under 5 minutes to play. 65-44 is the Providence lead. Pierre has it off the top of the key, bounces up high for Sandico. He's got Muser on him on the high post, hands off for Cardet, who slipped to the floor. Muser rose to the floor, steals it, and saves it up to Morgan. Morgan finds his man down right, and a score for Chaz Stinson.
Good job by Stonehill that time, making a turnover into a basket. That's 2 in a row. They've got turnovers. Almost had scores on the first one.
That's 10 for Stinson in the game for Stonehill at 65-46. Sonico between the circles. Comes off the left wing for Jaden Pierre. Step back three-pointer up and in.
You know, outside of Raheem, he's the best shooter on the team. And he needs to get more. I see it all the time. I mean, like a broken record, but he needs to shoot more. He's shot 50% from 3 as a freshman. He's got to get more shots.
First 3 for Jaden in the game. 5 total, 68-46. 22-point lead, matching the largest. There's a steal the foul line. Barron throws it up the floor for Jaden, and Jaden gets tripped from behind by Brogna.
I was worried about Brogna, man, because he's the guy who's going to hurt somebody out there.
Brogna's going to foul out of the game. That's his 5th with 3:58 left.
He's a bull in the china shop, that guy.
And that's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 8 team fouls. So it'll be a 1-and-1 for the Friars after the timeout with 3:58 to go, 68-46 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
That Brogna guy, man.
He's got thug written all over his forehead.
Oh, man, he's bad news. When I saw Jaden Pierre going, I was saying, oh, my God, these guys are going to come out and try to bury him, man. He'll be out for the year. Mm-hmm.
Make your home project a slam dunk with Floor and Decor. Now open. Shop unmatched selection and get flooring, tile, and wood at unbeatable prices.
Well, Fry's shooting the ball pretty well, John, from the floor. 24 of 50 in the ball game, 8 for 24 from 3, 12 for 19 from the foul line. They have 43 rebounds in the ball game. That's a good number. 12 of those are offensive rebounds. The bad number is 19 turnovers. You just have to get top. You got to cut those turnovers down, especially against a team like Stonehill, which you have, you basically take care of the basketball and get what you want out there with your big size advantage. Stonehill, on the other hand, just 17 of 47 in the ballgame, just 36%, 6 for 20 from 3, 6 for 16 from the line. That's not very good. And just 22 rebounds. That's the undersized team that Stonehill has. They only have 4 offensive rebounds in the ballgame. 9 assists on their 17 made baskets. The Friars have 16 assists on 24 made baskets. I'm glad to see that Brogna out of the game, though. I was worried about Jaden Pierre getting knocked out for the season the way he was running at him. You ever watch that movie? You watch that Netflix Vikings right now?
I'm not watching it now, but I've seen it up there.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
it's good.
seen it.
I'm into that one. But Bragner could be like one of the Vikings out there. He could be a star in that show.
Pierre hits the
He'd
front
be like
end of the
Ragnar.
101.
If you ever watched the guy Ragnar,
Yes,
Ragnar was,
yeah.
oh man, crazy guy. He beat everybody to death, cut their heads off. That's what Bragner looks like out there. I'm glad he's got the rest of the night off. He can cool off over there.
Second shot is actually in and out. No good. He got 1 of 2. 69-46 is the largest lead of the night. We got 3:52 on the clock. Walking it into the forecourt, driving to the right side, all the way to the hoop is Stinson. Blocked! Friars come up with the ball. Here's Pierre. Pierre back the other way with it. Angles through to the left side of the forecourt, again to our left. High screen set by Sandico. Gives the ball to Kreese, who stumbles inside and loses it back.
That's not a good pass, though, John.
No.
I mean, there's not enough space there.
Yeah.
He threw a bounce pass with 3 guys there. Kreese couldn't get that one.
Tried to thread the needle on a bounce pass. It really wasn't a smart idea. Muser came up with a loose ball, and Stinson takes it left, goes down left, and gets the shot blocked and fouled. And I think it's going to be.
See,
Who did they
I'd
get?
say probably on Pierre. 2 shots there. But see that situation there, John?
Yeah, it
Pierre
is on
gets the
Jaden.
foul. Well, when Pierre came off the screen there by Kreese, Kreese rolls, but there's 3 guys in the paint. That's where Jaden has to pull up and take the little jump shot at the Big East sign, a little floater in the lane. He's very good at that.
Stinson misses the free throw. What a miserable night it's been at the free throw line with the Skyhawks. They are now, Joe, 6 for 17 at the foul line.
Yeah, when you're struggling to put the ball in the hole, you got to make free throws to try to hang around, and that's not a good sign for Stonehill.
Second shot for Stinson is short, no
way
good,
off.
and Mila gets the rebound. Wow. Stinson just 2 for 8 himself from the free throw line. 69-46 it remains. Mila has it on the right sideline out front for Barron.
Little zone defense now by Stonehill.
First time we've seen it. Little 1-2-2. Up top, Barron, right side for Corey. Now back to Barron, swings it left. Mila back to Barron, right side for Floyd. 7 to shoot. Barron finds Mila, lets go of the 3. In and out and back in again.
He can shoot. He can really shoot it.
He's got 7 points. For the Friars off of the bench tonight with the freshman from Natick, Mass, 72-46.
Yeah, he's a solid player. I think he's going to be a very good player for Friars.
Driving right, Stinson in the lane for Mellis. Missed the close shot. Rebound for Sandico. Now again for Floyd. Floyd up the left side this time into the forecourt. Stops his penetration. High screen set. Curls to the right. Down the lane to the hoop. Score.
Corey finishing at the rim right there. He had his guy on his hip. Decided to go to the basket. When he gets to the basket and makes up his mind to finish, he usually gets a good look.
8 for Floyd in the game. A 9-0 Friar run to put the final stamp on this one here tonight. 74-46. Up high again is Mellis. Goes left again for Muser. Fakes. Drives down into the left box on Mila. Works into the lane. Tries to dip up and under with a fadeaway. In and out. No. Rebound tapped. Mellis had it. Lost it out of bounds. And a turnover. It'll be Providence ball. And here comes Anton Bonk back in. And Millivan Daniels, the preferred walk-on from St. Louis, will make his first appearance. With 1:54 to go. 13-2 is the Friar run here. Floyd and Fernandez will go to the bench. And a 74-46 Friar lead. Friars have hit their last 5 shots from the floor. Fernandez stays in the game, rather. Daniels had it over to Barron. Barron left alone, thought about the 3, gets it back out to Justin. Justin, high screen set by Bonk. Goes down, wraparound pass, loose on the floor. It goes out of bounds, off of the purple shirts. Again, I'm not sure I would have done that one as well, but they're just trying to get the big man involved. As Eli Delorier will check in as well for the first time this year with 1:33 to go, and Fernandez will come to the bench. 10 to shoot for the Friars.
Seen a ton of lineups in here tonight, that's for sure.
Everybody's played.
What, they play 15 guys?
Pretty much. There's the lob to Bonk at the foul line. Anton lobs the ball back out for Daniels. 5 to shoot, 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot. Mila, deep 3, off the iron, no. And the rebound is corralled underneath the basket by Stinson. Stinson, long pass up the floor, left wing for Morgan. In the corner for Mellis. Mellis drives the left baseline, tries to wrap around, throws it up, got the foul. And it's called on Anton Bonk.
Well, Bonk forgot that they didn't guard Mellis the whole ball game. They were in the paint, and he went out and challenged the three, and Mellis, that's what he wanted, and he blew right by him and got to the basket, picks up the foul.
That's 4 on Anton. 9th on the Friars. It'll be a shooting foul here for Christopher Mellis. With 1:13 to go. Has 3 points tonight. 6'5" senior, Chappaqua, New York.
Hey, the Stonehill team, though, they play hard. They definitely play
And
hard.
they hit a free throw, Joe.
It's so tough to come from Division II up to Division I.
They were just 2 for 9 from the foul line in the half, and the Friars will finally bring in Luke Fonts and Kieran O'Hare as the final.
Everybody dressed as
Friars.
the ball
So everybody
game.
dressed, got in tonight. One more try for Mellis at the foul line is on the way, and good. Got them both. 74-48. He'll come out of the game. And Charlie Diamantis, 6'3" junior from Milford, Connecticut, will come in. Daniels into the forecourt. Delorier comes left for O'Hare. O'Hare penetrates, lost the ball off his leg. It's stripped loose on the floor. It's picked up by Fonts. Saved in the lane, and a whistle and a reach in. And what's the call? They're going to call a held ball. And the possession belongs to Stonehill with 58 seconds left. Like a purple wave just enveloped Luke Fonts on that one.
Yeah, I know you get in that lane, everybody's swinging at the ball for sure.
Diamantis into the forecourt. And now he'll find into the forecourt right for Pierce McGuinn, a 6'8" freshman into the game. Diamantis, right side in front of his bench, lobs it back out front to Neil Marquardt, who's checked in for the first time. Now back to McGuinn, who drives back out front. The 7-foot freshman jumper up, no good, and the rebound, that was off of Shillingford. Friars have the ball with Kieran O'Hare. 30 seconds left. O'Hare has it up front for Daniels. Daniels points to his spot. Bonk sets the screen. He cuts to the left of that. Rolls down the lane, goes to the hoop, off the rim, and it goes in.
Good move by Daniels, uses offhand that time, the left hand. Everybody's worried about Bonk on the alley-oop, and he ends up laying it up nicely.
Daniels gets his first official deuce as a Friar. 16 seconds left. On the right side with it, back out front. Long three by Diamantis, no good. Long rebound is taken underneath. Going back up and has the shot flipped up over his head and partially blocked was Marquardt, and a foul is called on the Friars' number 12, Eli Delorier, with 6.4 on the clock.
So tough for these guys to play at this point, too, John. They've been sitting there for 2 hours, and they get thrown in the game. They try to execute out there. And Delorier picks up the foul. Delorier played some minutes in the last ball game. Did a pretty good job, and didn't get to play in this one. You can't play everybody.
Marquardt misses the free throw. He's 1 for 3 from the foul line this year. Again, this is the third game of the week that Stonehill has opened their season with. Second shot bounces and stays. Gets into the scorebook, 76-49. 5 seconds left. Daniels has it in the backcourt. Friars will not take another shot, and Providence moves to 2-0 on the regular season with a 76-49 win over the Stonehill Skyhawks.
Well, I mean, for a while it was a competitive game, and Stonehill did what they had to do to try to make it chippy out there and get physical and bang into people and try to create some fouls, but the Friars just kept coming in waves, and their size was just too much for Stonehill to handle.
Well, the Friars had a 28-point lead. They'll settle for a 27-point win in this one to move to 2-0 as Stonehill falls to 1-2 after the first week of the 2024-25 regular season. Joe and I back here at the Amp for the Santander post-game wrap-up show coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Thanks. Good father.
Seven, 8, 4, 3, no, 3, 4, 7. Two. 31, 35, 42, 50, 62, 76. All right. Well, balanced scoring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 guys scored tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this team's, they're not any
I know,
good, man.
I know.
Sometimes it's tougher to play against a team that you're supposed to win, and I don't know. I hated games like this.
I want to see what the run was. Because it was 13 at one point, right? In the second half.
It was down to 13, yeah.
Trying to get the run.
Yeah. So it was 13 at one point, and it ends up in the biggest was 28. So a 15-point run in there somewhere. Yep. Probably you want to use Abdur Rahim for the player of the game, leading scorer. You want to do that, Joe?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So save you can play whatever you want coming out of these breaks, but save the Jabri 3 for the last one. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that here. That's fine.
Six o'clock's a weird time. Like, you get out to dinner. It's too late to go out to dinner now, you know.
I know.
I didn't eat enough before.
Takeout, baby. I'm going. Takeout.
I'll do some sushi maybe.
Always good to see when the young guys can get involved in such an incredible athletic talent. And Oswin Erunse and the 2 points of his 4 that he had on the night, but he's so active. And Kim English played a lot of different players tonight, a lot of different combinations out on the floor, and the result is a 76-49 victory.
Yeah, these games are so important, John, for the younger guys, the guys who haven't played much and, trying to get their feet wet. And it's important for the veterans, too, to try to keep them involved. And you got to win the ball game, obviously, but you want to incorporate everybody to make yourself a better team. And there's a lot of juggling balls going on out there to try to get everybody going. And, Crease is a guy who really hasn't fit in yet, but he's going to be the starting center at some point. So they need to get him going and, get the young guys, especially Oswin. I mean, he's a guy that's going to be a factor for the team.
Well, this game was really decided by 2 distinct runs for the Friars on both sides. A 22-5 run for the Friars over the final 7 minutes and 15 seconds of the first half to give them a 19-point lead at halftime, 44-25. And then, Joe, just kind of middling to start the second half, almost the same way they started the ball game. It was 50-37 with a little over 13 minutes to play. And then the Friars closed the last 13 minutes. They scored 9 unanswered from there, and they ended up outscoring 26-12 over the last 13 minutes.
Yeah, the first half and the second half were almost identical when you talk about runs that they had. Stonehill came out with a good start, made their first 3 shots. Friars had turned the ball over 3 times in their first 6 possessions, something they did in the last ball game. They did the same thing in the second half. They turned the ball over 3 times in their first 7 possessions. So they came out flat in the second half, but they figured it out. And, they're such a big team compared to Stonehill. And Stonehill really had some tough times getting some shots off. Stonehill played with a lot of guts. I mean, they just were too small. I mean, they're playing a 6'6" center. It's just, they keep running 7-footers out there on them. So it's tough for Stonehill to compete. But, if you're Kim English, you want to try to run plays that are going to help you get better as a team and get some combinations in there. Rahim is a guy who stepped up and made shots tonight. And that's what I like to see because, when he's open, if they get him the ball on the swing and he's open, he takes a shot. He usually makes it if he's squared up. When he puts the ball on the floor, then he struggles a little bit to score, but you got to get him moving, catching, and shooting. When he can do that, the big guys will end up being better out on the outside, on the inside. And I need Jaden Pierre needs to shoot a little bit more. He's only took 4 shots in the game. I mentioned to you already.
And he's still coming back from his injury. So
right, he was out 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, but he's I mentioned to you already, John. He shot 50% from 3 as a freshman, so he's a good shooter. And to Raheem, I think he's the second best shooter on the team, and he needs to get more shots. But he's trying to get everybody involved. He made a couple of passes, and then one where he gave up shots that he had for himself. So that's a good thing to get everybody. But when you get into crunch time in big games and Big East play, he's going to have to step up, and I'm sure he will. And guys who are being facilitators now are going to be go-to guys when the games are really, really important.
Sure, have to be. Very balanced scoring tonight, as you might have mentioned. We talked about and mentioned that a lot of different combinations on the floor. Everybody who suited up tonight got into the game. The only exception was Bryce Hopkins, so everybody got to play. Only 2 players in double figures, so extraordinarily balanced all the way throughout. Raheem ended up leading the Friars in scoring, had 14 of his 16 points in the first half, including 3 threes.
Yeah, they got him the ball, and that's another good thing. When you have 2 guards who are smart out there, you have Joseph and Pierre. I mean, they're veteran guys. Joseph is a 5th-year senior. They see a guy get hot, and they try to find him, and that's what you need to do. They run plays and try to find him, and he knows that he's got to get himself open to get the shot, and he's good at that. He gets himself open. They find him. He knocks down the shot, and that was a big run there. And the kid Ryan Melly, who was on the floor for 11 minutes. I mean, he's a solid player.
That's 7 points.
Yeah, he had 7 points. He was 2 for 4, but he just has a good feel for the game. I don't know how many minutes he'll get on this team because there's so many people out there. But when he's on the floor, it just seemed that good things happen. When they had that big run you mentioned, John, 13-2, that basically when the game was like a 4 or 5 point game and they extended the lead, he was on the floor the whole time.
There were 2 players that were involved in a really one-sided plus-minus situation. It was Ryan Mila, as you said, and Jabri Abdur-Rahim.
Yeah, they played significant. Those minutes. I mean, Mealy only played 11, but they were important minutes at the time, and he didn't even play in the last ball game. So, Coach Ingles has a lot of options he can go to, and that's what these games are here for, to figure out who fits where. But that's a kid I'd like to see play. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get during the course of the season, but he's a guy that you can go to.
Okay, so with 76-49 the score, it sounds like there's a little more positive to talk about than Monday, so maybe a step in the right direction. And yet, Joe, when you kind of examine the box score here, you see 21 turnovers, and that will not make Kim English or anybody on that coaching staff very happy.
No, that's not good. Get that many turnovers against a team like Stonehill. I mean, nothing against Stonehill. I mean, they're just undermanned. They're not as good talent-wise as the Friars are, and they turn the Friars over 21 times. I mean, that's just too many. But I think sometimes the Friars try to force passes to the big guys inside to get them involved, especially to Creased. He's been struggling offensively, and so you force a pass in there trying to get his confidence going. But sometimes you try things against a team like Stonehill that you normally wouldn't do against a team, like Creighton or somebody where you got to value every possession. So you tend to see against a team like this. Believe me, I've been there. I played in games like this where you take a few more chances that you normally wouldn't take in a bigger game.
Yeah, the Friars with 21 turnovers for 15 Stonehill points. The Skyhawks had 14 turnovers, and the Friars scored 17 points off of those 14 turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, they did about as well as they could do. Again, I mentioned already, Stonehill is a Division II team that stepped up to Division I. It takes a long time.
This is the first year since their transition from Division II to Division I where they're actually eligible for the NEC title.
Yeah, so, I mean, it takes some time. I mean, you remember Bryant College, now the Bryant University, it took them 7, 8, 9, 10 years to get to where they are now. Then they eventually won their conference and got to the NCAA tournament. So it takes time. You get your head beat in for a while, but eventually you'll get better, and you get to recruit some Division I players where you have those contacts. They'll be all right down the road, but it's going to take some time.
Certainly will. And the Friars get a 27-point win at home to move to 2-0 on the season, and again, Stonehill drops to 1-2. We'll continue with more of our Santander post-game wrap-up coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Hey. All right, Brian. All right, man. Huh? A little better tonight. A little better tonight, yeah. See ya. All right, Wesley, you ready,
Ready to go,
man?
Wes. Ready to go, baby.
You ready to rock and roll?
Can you hear okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. You have a Cardette one here? Yeah, do that. Thanks. Only because he's sitting here across from us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that was off a missed free throw, though.
Wesley, last couple of shots. Wes, last couple of shots look like you shot it off you when you snapped it like off your palm. You didn't let it go off these fingers. In the first half, you shot them off your fingers. Nice. Looked like you went like snapped it.
Okay. Thank you.
You sit on the fingers right there.
Shot doctor.
Say that again.
Shot doctor. Yeah, sure. Different audience, likely, because you got people out of their cars in their cars now anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, play that.
A little different with the lead change. I mean, time of the lead in this ball game. Last game we had the lead for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Here we go.
Yeah.
Wesley Cardette with one of his 2 3-pointers made in the first half. He ended up with 12 points. They all came in the first half, and Wesley Cardette joins us here as the Santander postgame show rolls on from the AMP. 76-49, the final score. The Friars over Stonehill's Skyhawks. First of all, I know that you have to feel like maybe your first couple of games at Providence, different environment, little different level. We know you're capable. You look like you were pressing. Tell us what you're going through in here to where hopefully now you can kind of calm down a little bit and play your game out on the floor.
I'm just trying to get acclimated. This is a whole new environment for me.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just trying to listen to my coaches. They're all telling me everyday growth mindset. I gotta just follow along what they have to say because they want the best for me, and I'm still learning. So it's just a process for me right now.
Yeah. Yeah, John said it correctly there. I thought the first game you're just trying to find your way out there on the floor, and you come off the screen. Sometimes you're open and you're maybe a little reluctant to take the shot because you want to get everybody else involved in the offense. But you're a scorer, so when you come off, you got to look to score. And in this ball game, you did that in the first half. You look like you got more comfortable, and when they run the plays for you, it look like they want you to take the shot. If not, they want to get to the basket and finish.
Yeah, it's just a process. I'm still learning it, but I'm gonna get it right next game. It's just something I got to work on in practice and keep hacking that.
Yeah, it's funny too. And as you're playing as a 2 guard or a scoring 3. When you're in that position and you haven't played with a point guard that you're playing with now, it's a whole new transition.
Yeah,
you got to know where they're going to be and where they like to get you the ball, where you like to catch the ball, and it's all a process out there. I mean, you can do it all in practice, but in a game you have to adjust to that. So when you get into the game, you're working. It's like a quarterback throwing a back shoulder pass to a receiver. You're in sync. You feel like you're getting in sync now with the point guards that we have here.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a process still. It's still more room to grow, but I'm definitely feeling better as each day goes by.
And Coach, it's got to be fun to play for Coach English
Oh, I
too.
love it. I love it.
Because he wants you to shoot threes all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to come back and play for him. I mean, he just likes let it fly, and he yells at you if you don't shoot the shot, right? If you're open for three and you don't take it, he might take you out of the game.
For sure. Yeah, he's
So-
definitely one of those coaches that pushes you to be the best. If you have an open shot, he definitely wants you to take it and give you all on defense.
Yeah. Now, when you're in the ball game and they're running a play, you know, your mindset is like, I got to get to my spot. Now, when you want to set a guy up to get your spot, explain what you do to try to set your man up to come off a screen to get to the spot where you want to catch it.
Usually I'll just give a triple threat move, like an over the top or a jab to get him there. If he don't fall for that, I'll probably take a dribble away from the screen just to set him up, just so I can come off more cleanly.
If a guy's up on you, trying to take away your shot, you have a move where you can give him a pump fake, maybe get him leaning, then you get him up in the air, and then take the shot and get some contact off the glass. You got to move. Those are the type of plays. When you make a couple of shots in a game, like say you make 3 in a row, next time you come off the screen, the guy's going to come flying at you.
Yeah.
So you know you got to head and shoulder fake, step to the side, stay under control, knock down the shot. That's when you're playing with good point guards too. They'll get you in that same position.
Yeah. That's a process. I'm gonna get it right.
You got to go. You're getting it right. It's just you want to be confident when you come off those screens. You want to be able to look that shot and take it.
For sure.
Good job.
Why don't you describe for us, really, because we've seen a lot of the clips that you guys shoot, you know, from your practice video.
Yeah.
And explain the difference between doing it in practice with your teammates and then trying to do it against other teams out on the floor, like you've done, you know, the 2 games this week. What's the biggest difference, really, between those 2 scenarios for someone like yourself?
I feel like we do it so much it doesn't really feel like a difference. I would say the only main difference is the level of crowd we have. It like gives you so much energy to like where it's just like you're so pumped up when you're shooting it. It's like it's not the same as practice. You know, practice is more like you shooting it, but like with the fans involved, it's just like a whole different shot.
Yeah, welcome to Friartown, brother. Yeah, it's pretty serious stuff around here. I know you picked up on that pretty quickly, right?
I see.
Well, you haven't even heard it loud in here yet.
Oh no. wait until mid-January.
Okay.
It'll be something.
Here's a little tip when you're really pumped up in a game. I remember my father telling me when I go out to you get on the foul line and you're all jacked up. Take like an inch back from the foul line and shoot the shot because you're so pumped up. You don't hit that back rim. You hit the right in the center. And then as the game goes along, your body just flows at the time.
That's good advice. That's good advice right there.
See, man knows. Didn't play in the league for nothing. So look at something like that, right? You guys have a pretty quick start to the season, so you only got a couple of days. You're going to turn it around, come back out here again. What do you feel like is the main focus for you guys going into the next game? What do you want to accomplish besides getting the win?
You know, just work on all our tactics offensively and defensively. You know, like I said before, our coach always says growth mindset. So we're going to watch film, see what we did wrong, and just fix it.
You want to get your bigs involved too, right? We can tell that there was a definitive effort to try to get those guys touches.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Work on it, baby. Thanks. Thanks for coming out and joining us. Appreciate you.
Good job.
Wesley Cardette, the Friars senior from Tallahassee, transferred from Chicago State, had 12 points. All of it came in the first half as the Friars win it 76-49.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some skills, no question about it, and he's a scorer. He has a scorer's mentality. You know, he's not just a shooter from the outside. He can get to the basket, too, so he has that good mix. All right, let's take a look at the numbers here that tell the story overall. First of all, for Stonehill, as they dropped to 1-2 on the season, they have 2 players in double figures. They have Amir Nesbitt, the transfer from Hampton University, with 12 points to lead them in scoring. Nesbitt also had 3 rebounds and 5 assists, but 6 turnovers in the game for Stonehill. And then the other double-figure scorer was Chaz Stinson, 6'4" junior guard out of Charlotte, who had 10 points in the game, was just 2 of 8 from the free throw line overall. Rest of the scoring, you had Josh Morgan, who came in as the second leading scorer, a graduate transfer from Incarnate Word in San Antonio. Did not score in this one. Came in averaging 16.5 points per game. So the Friars definitely identified Morgan and shut him down tonight. Rest of the scoring, you had Brogna, who's their leading scorer at 18 points per game out of Southborough, Mass.
scored 3 points and fouled out of the game with 3:58 to go. Then Muser, the big man in the middle, 7 points, 2 rebounds. Simona off the bench for 6. You had Kofi off of the bench out of Quebec City with 5 points, and 5 for Mellis and 1 for Marquardt off the bench. Team-wise, Stonehill ended up shooting 17 of 53. That's 32% for the ball game. 17 of 53 from the floor, 32%. So the Friar defense, Joe, in the first 2 games of the season has held opponents to 31.5% from the floor combined.
Yeah, the defense was pretty good in this one. We mentioned Josh Morgan before the game as highlighted as the matchup of the game, and Corey Floyd had the assignment on him, and Corey did a good job on him.
Never let him get going.
Shut him down.
Yep. From 3-point range, Skyhawks were 6 of 21. That's 29%. From the foul line, 9 for 22. Ouch. Only 41% from the line.
Oof.
On the rebounds, Providence just bludgeoned them on the backboard. 48-26 was the margin on the rebounding side, including 12-6 on the offensive glass. Turnovers, 14 for the Skyhawks for 17 Providence points. The Skyhawks, however, did have 11 steals defensively.
Yeah, Friars had those 21 turnovers. So the Skyhawks, they're quick and they're small. When the Friars got the rebound, they were in the passing lanes and deflecting balls away and getting some steals.
Providence had just 2 players in double figures, as we mentioned. Jabri Abdurrahim led all scorers with 16 in this one. 14 of that came in the first half. Hit 3 of 5 from 3. Also had 6 rebounds, and then 12 points for Wesley Cardette. 5 of 9 for the floor. Hit a couple of threes, and Cardette led the Friars in rebounding with 8 backboards.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a big, strong NBA-type body, so he can get on the glass and rebound. And he, they had all those important points in the first half where the Friars were able to extend the lead.
Jaden Pierre, 6 points. All of it came in the second half with 3 assists. You had Bensley Joseph with 7 points after having 21 in the opener on Monday with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Corey Floyd, 8 points and 4 rebounds in this one. Oswin Erunse had 4 points and 6 rebounds. Let's see, Christian Isandiko had 8 points, 2 rebounds. We mentioned Jabri, he had 16. Justin Fernandez scoreless in 13 minutes. Anton Bonk had his first deuce in 10 minutes. Rich Barron had 4. Ryan Mila, 7 points off of the bench in 11 minutes with 4 rebounds.
Yeah, I like his game. I mentioned that already during the broadcast here, but nobody played more than 27 minutes in the ball game. Corey Floyd was the leader in minutes played, and then you had Cadet at 26, but everybody else is basically in the teens in this one.
Right. Eli Delorier had 2 scoreless minutes. You had Nilovan Daniels had 2 points in 2 minutes. Luke Fonts, Karen O'Hare both got into the game. Friars shot 27 of 54. That's right at 50% shooting. So a much better job on the offensive end. On 3, the Friars were 9 for 26 for 35%. So that's a tick above where they were on Monday night against Central Connecticut. Free throw shooting could be a little better, just 13 of 21 from the foul line for 62%. And the 21 turnovers, well, that'll need a little work.
Yeah, you got to cut those down. I mean, you like to keep it under 15 turnovers. If you're playing at a fast pace, John, that's what the Friars want to play at. You can live with 15 turnovers. I mean, you're going to get more possessions if you're playing at a fast pace, but get 21 turnovers against a team like Stonehill. You're not going to get away with that playing against teams in the Big East with 21 turnovers.
17 assists on the 27 made baskets tonight, again, with the Friars in front of a crowd of 11,027 on a Saturday night here at the Amp.
Yep. I mean, this is a game where you try to keep getting better. There's no question the Friars are going to win the game, but you want to try to find guys who can contribute, and the rotation is going to have to be figured out. I mean, there's no way you're going to play that many guys in big games.
Can't.
So you got to figure out who's going to be in the rotation, and this is how you find out who plays well in games. You have a lot of guys who play well in practice sometimes, but they get in the game and they just can't contribute. And, you figure that out, then they get in the rotation.
And likely we'll talk a little bit more about that and may even see more of that rotation beginning this next Tuesday night with the next one here on the floor. And Joe and I will talk about that as we wrap up our Santander postgame show. Coming up, 76-49. Again, the Friars win it tonight here. The final from the Amp. More in a moment from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. You want to do the scoreboard update again?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah. Do it. Why don't you just come out with it? Actually, you know what I'll do? No, hey, Sam, play the Jabri 3, and then I'll do the drop, and then you just take the scoreboard.
We need more 6 o'clock games.
Yep, thank you. Jabri Abdur Rahim, our Audi Warwick outstanding performance of the game. We had him on Kim English's coaches show this week, and I told him that my favorite phrase this year was going to be Jabri from 3. He didn't let us down tonight, Joe.
No, he didn't. He's wide open. But nice smooth stroke he's got too. When he releases the ball, you just feel like it's going in. And they found him in nice spots tonight and knocked it down. He's 6'8" too, so he can get some space out there.
76-49, Friars with the win over Stonehill. Austin Rooks got the scoreboard update.
We've got, 4 other games in the Big East tonight, 3 of which have gone final in addition to the one here. Fordham with the upset win at the buzzer at Walsh Gym in South Orange, New Jersey, 57-56 over the Seton Hall Pirates. The Fordham Rams pull it out. St. John's, were down 4 at the half at home at Carnesecca Arena in Queens. They get 61 points in the second half, outscoring Quinnipiac 61-34 in the second half. They pull away 96-73. The Red Storm go to 2-0 on the year, 24 points, 13 rebounds for R.J. Lewis in that one. Georgetown with a 12-point win over the Fairfield Stags in D.C., a second straight 20-point double-double for freshman Thomas Sorber. And the other game in the Big East tonight, right now, about 5 minutes to go in the first half, UConn with a 24-16 lead over UNH in Stores.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Friars will be next up here on Tuesday night at the Amp against the Hampton Pirates in a 6:30 start. And an old friend is head coach at Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton, they played. I just saw them play somebody today. I can't remember where they played. Short-term memories going, John.
Don't even look at me. I don't know. I was watching football today, so I don't know.
It was last night they played somebody. They got beat, but they'll be back in here. We'll see what happens.
That happens on Tuesday night. One thing you want to do at this stage of the game is you want to continue to make steps forward. And I thought that there was a little more consistency and rhythm on offense. The defense, for the most part, with the exception of the first couple of minute starts of both halves, was fairly consistent. So maybe take better care of the ball as a goal on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, the turn, we already mentioned that a number of times, though, but turnovers, they just kill you because they eliminate possessions. But I think they tried to force some things to big guys inside that really weren't there to try to get them involved. And you don't mind that if you're working on things. The game wasn't in question, so you're going to try some things that try to get everybody involved. And eventually you can't do that because when people get into the rotation, you got to take good care of the ball and execute.
Friars and the Hampton Pirates. It'll be Tuesday night, again, a 6:30 tip. Joe and I will have the broadcast here on News Talk 99.7 and AM 630 WPRO beginning at 6 on Tuesday. Our thanks to studio producer Sam Chosick for a sharp job tonight. Our engineer Matt Morrell, Austin Rook with our halftime report. And for my partner Joe Hassett, I'm John Rook. Again, our final score is Providence 76, Stonehill 49, Friars 2-0 to start the season. We'll try to make it 3 straight against Hampton on Tuesday. Until then, so long, everybody.
John, they just ripped out the internet.
Oh, nice.
We weren't on the air for the last 2 minutes.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I lost it in my ears. I pulled the
Oh,
internet.
lovely. Good job.